I'm not happy with a draw.
You got to take a draw.
I'm not happy with a draw.
But would you take it?
No, I wouldn't take it. I want 3 points.
All right, fair enough.
It's a ball!
Yes!
Oh my God!
Yes!
Oh my God!
Yes!
Solanke, we
Yes! It's good.
Twice!
Coming in for no bumbuckler. Draw! I told you, I'm not happy with a draw. I said we need to win
the
this game
boys are
of
doing you
football.
proud at the minute.
If they throw this away from 2-0, I'm gonna flip this table. I swear to God.
Oh! What a goal! What a goal!
Shocking defense.
What a goal!
Shocking defense.
Where is the pressure? Where is the pressure? Where's the pressure? Why does the best player have so much bumbuckler? Face, are you mad?
Oh
Come on,
my
you've got
God.
to score!
That's
You've got to score! You've got to score that bumbuckler! See?
That's good defending.
Played Sancho.
Oh, played Sancho.
Oh, he's taking it out! It's a pen! It's a pen!
It's just typical of this Basuma guy. Come on!
Wake up!
Tapping toes.
Again.
I need to calm down.
No, you don't need to calm down, man. It's good.
Shoot! Oh my God! Yes!
Someone please hug Tobe, says Kev. I'm
Don't
scared.
touch me.
2-0 down! Levy
Shut up.
3-2, this is crazy!
Daniel Levy.
What's gonna change? Man, I'm trying to pressure me, Ange out. What is going to change? Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes! Compartment big games! Compartment big games! Shut up! Yeah!
So, Ma, I'm recoiling watching that. It is disgusting. How do you feel when you Your actions have brought the Big Six into disrepute.
I don't care! Shut your mouth! Should you have lost this fucking game of football? You're in the review, bro. You're creating more than this super tea. Why are you showing your tits out like fucking Pamela Anderson? Holy day. Yeah! Hold that! Ridiculous.
Oh my days. Oh.
Wow. Can you imagine what it was like in the studio as well? You've seen it from the screen. The studio was
Mazda to say now.
Yeah. Uncomfortable to say the least. I didn't know it was real until that intro. Now I know what happened yesterday was real, people. It was real. Hit the like button.
Been getting mashed wet all day. Like mad titties all day. Milkshake brings your boys to the yard, but with the MAH. It's been a long day. But it was worth it. I'll be real, it was worth it. Tobes didn't even say bye to me at the end of the day as well. That wasn't very nice. I said bye to him. He just ignored me. I think his head was very hot. Such a good watch along. So good. I'd say if I touched his head, man, that would have been he would have.
What a game! What a game of football! It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy game.
Crazy.
Entertainment.
Welcome back, people.
Yeah, well, unbelievable.
Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Listen, first and foremost, love for the love. That's first and foremost today, because the watch along numbers yesterday, the love afterwards, stars of the show, Matisse and Tobes, for different reasons throughout. And off the back of it, we've just hit our first 100k upload vid as well. Big up Skull in the background, working hard in production and highlights and whatnot. And yeah, listen, things are just growing well for the Big Six. And you, the community, are a big part of that. So listen, thank you. Love for the love, people. Appreciate it. And we move, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to dissect. So make sure you hit that like button, people. Let's get to 2,000 likes nice and early. My internet's moving a bit mad. So in the background, you, man, if something happens, let me know in the private chat. My internet is all good. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, I guess the floor is yours. But I don't know, is it Matisse that goes first, or is it Tobes that goes first, or
Let him go first. He won.
Let Matisse go first, man.
Yeah, he said a lot.
Matisse, you've been waiting for this day, you know.
Yeah,
first of the Big Six.
Yeah,
it's
long
been a
time.
while, brother. It's been a while.
It's been a long couple of years for us Chelsea fans, man. We've been getting absolutely destroyed, dog walked, mocked, and rightly so. But we are serious this season. That is at the very least, we are a serious team. We got great strength and depth. I'm so impressed with the upturn in performance from so many of those players. Lavia in that first half, on the ball in particular, breaking lines, breaking press, receiving the ball in tight areas. Enzo, Caicedo again. You know, the forwards, Palmer stepping up. Panenka at Tottenham is just, I mean, if you wanted a way to capture the hearts of the Chelsea fans, if you haven't done already, a Panenka at your rivals' home turf to just go and, you know, shiver me timbers into the distance, into that corner. I've been to Tottenham away when we beat them with Lampard and Willian scored a brace. And I tell you, there's absolutely nothing better on this planet than Tottenham away limbs. And I don't know why, but I can't explain it. And I was just trying to, if anything, replicate what the limbs was like. A lot of people feel like, why are you getting your tits out? Why are you doing a lot? Listen, when the Geordies go away and they get their tits out, no one says anything, right? This is football, right? This is emotion. And if I was in that ground and, you know, if it wasn't for the big six, you know, this, I'm telling you, only you guys I'd do it for. If I was in that ground, fucking hell, it would have been ecstatic. It would have been emotional because I saw people that I knew falling down the rows. I know quite a few people that went, and they told me it was one of the best games I've ever been to. So it was a lot, man. 2-0 down to come back, to be playing the way we did in the first 10, 15 minutes, giving the ball away, looking like we were unable to handle the pressure. The occasion looked like it got to us. We had Cucurella wearing sliders, slipping around. And for these guys to come back with 2 sensational strikes. Sancho. I mean, Manchester United, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, for 20 million, wow. I mean, for the same price as so many average players, for that, thank you so much. And Enzo Fernandez, he's in serious form. I was very worried about this guy at the start of the season. Very worried as to whether or not he was going to deliver this season, because I felt like if he didn't, you know, he'd be one of the first to be looked at as maybe we need to do a deal. But he has been brilliant recently. He's been banging in big goals. He's starting to give us output. And yeah, I'm just very blessed for Maresca right now. I don't know how they found this guy. It was very random. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know this guy before he came in, but he has just been a breath of fresh air, man. The football that he's playing, we've got the most goals in the league, the most open play goals. You know, we're just cutting teams up, creating chances, playing on the front foot. We're very entertaining. No one can say that we're boring. You know, all the neutrals loved that game. It was chaos. It was prime Barclays. It was early 2000s. It was errors. It was mad tackles. It was everything that you want in football. In a game that's gone very, you know, controlling, very suffocating, very slow, very not round here, man. Not round here, partner. You know what I mean? Not round here. So listen, we get the breasts out for the boys. That's where it was. And I know a lot of you in the chat enjoyed it. You can pretend, you can you like. At the end of the day, you got what you came for. A lot of people said show chest. I showed chest. So what's
yeah,
plenty of chest. So what's the big
I think we've moved past the Matisse I'm a chill guy era. Well and truly. Yeah, I don't want to see I don't want to see you put that meme up again, bro.
Listen, we going back to be chill against Brentford, but I tell you, we will never be chill for Tottenham. We will never be chill for Tottenham. I hate that club. And when I saw TOBS at the start of that watch along, barking orders at his team at the beginning, I was just filled with vengeance. I couldn't wait for the game to kick off, and I just love beating them, man. Battle of the Bridge, all these times, all these moments, I love beating them. I love it. What is that? 6 wins the last 7 or 5 wins the last 6? I don't know. I love beating Tottenham, man. It's beautiful, I must say. It's something. It's always good. It's always good, man. We enjoyed. But yeah, we'll get into the analysis later. But that's the intro, man. Very happy. Very happy.
Yeah, you can see that. TOBS, you look bewildered.
No, he's fine today.
No, I thought you just heard something you didn't like, or something. Your eyes squinted a bit.
No, it was just when he said that nonsense about people wanting to see chest, so he brought out his tits or something.
That's stuck in your mind.
I don't really know what more I can say. I've said everything I needed to say yesterday. What more can I say? If you go 2-0 up, 10 minutes, and you lose the game of football, you're a disgrace. The players are a disgrace. The manager's a disgrace. The entire club. Put that club on ice. In fact, don't even put it on ice. Put that club in rice. They're cooked. They're absolutely cooked. They're malfunctioned. They're just a faulty club. And they're spearheaded by a guy who just doesn't know how to run a football club on the pitch. He doesn't have a Scooby-Doo on how to run a football club on the pitch. And yet again, and we'll get into Ange, because I actually feel like whilst I can't stand the ownership, I think Ange in his own right as a manager has actually been appalling. If I'm being honest, this season on results, did you think that was funny? Did you think that was funny?
You're foul.
Why has he loaded up the sound?
Do you know? I'm not even gonna. I'll continue.
No. Just one time.
No,
Only.
it's fine, it's fine.
Man said,
In
nah,
the
dude.
same weekend that you lost, you are
lost to Nottingham Forest.
shameless.
Oh, well, allow it, man. Let me just
Fucking
land that
man.
one time.
You are
One
so
time.
bad, you know.
Oh, the chat.
No, we
the chat
said
was
we're
telling
allowed
us
to do
say
that.
it.
We said
I
we're
didn't
allowed
want
to
it.
do that. If doesn't mean if our team's lost, we're still allowed to talk about.
Yeah, exactly, man. You're in the
I'm
top
not saying you
section,
can't
man.
talk, but have
He
some
can talk.
shame.
No, there's no shame.
Listen. The chat was
He's
telling me
calling
to
us.
press it. So
Brother,
I just
there's no shame.
one-time
Brother
press.
SAEED, there's no shame. There's no shame.
It was a one-time press. It was just a demand. You know, I mean,
It was
I'll
a
just,
one-time
give the
There's no
audience what they
shame.
want. You know
Sorry,
what I mean?
carry on, Tobs. Carry on, Tobs.
Carry on. Sorry, Tobs.
To be fair, Steve warned us about you anyway. Like we were talking about it, and Steve was saying like he can't believe
Steve warned us about you.
he can't believe how shameless you are. And I'm like, yeah, that's just SAEED, man. He's just bantering, but he's actually right. Like the depth, there's no depth to your shamelessness. Like it knows no bounds. Like
Yeah.
You know what it's like, Tobes? You know what it's like? It's like somebody swimming in a bath full of shit and then throwing shit at you.
Yeah, literally. I was just about to say, Man United are taking the shit on their hands, smearing it on your face,
And
then
saying
just
you
scraping
stink.
some of it off and putting it on my face. I'm like, what? It doesn't even make sense. Anyway, yeah, there's nothing more I can say beyond that. Put the club on rice. I think the game was managed poorly. I've got to say, the game was managed terribly bad. And it's why I was so animated. There was no point in that game where I felt comfortable that Spurs would control that game. Like I knew it was always going to be basketball. Even after we went 2-0 up, there was still so much space in the midfield, so much space between our back four and our front four. It was just madness. It was an absolutely chaotic way to run a football game. And we're finishing the game with guys like Werner coming off the bench, guys like Bergvall and Gray. I remember in the summer when I was complaining about a transfer business, man in here were telling me I shouldn't complain too much. We signed Archie Gray. Be patient. Do this, Tobes. Do that, Tobes. Be patient. Fuck patience, bro. Honestly, F patience. I got no qualms with Archie Gray being signed for Spurs, but if you're telling me that you're committing a quarter of our funds on this kid who the manager doesn't even want to play in his natural position, how is that? How are you telling me that you're serious about this season? We signed a bunch of kids and one starter. How many times have I said this on this damn show? Like, this is not the way you run a football club. I'm sorry, it just isn't. Not if you want to really be serious. It's not the way you run a football club. So that's just where I'm at with that. And I think until this guy sells up the club to another owner, we will never prosper. I don't care what you say about his commercial success, etc. Spurs will never prosper with this guy as our owner. We won't. Not where it really matters. Not outside of selling the most beers and being this superpower without winning trophies. I don't give a shit about any of these things. Do you think I really care that Spurs are the highest revenue generating team, or are making more money than Man City, or making more money than Liverpool and stuff? I don't care about all of these things if we're not winning anything. What's the point? What is the point in having all of this money, all of this amassed commercial success, if you can't turn it into something that's material on the football pitch? What's the point? So when guys like Turkish are telling me, oh, but look at what he's done for your club, he's taking you from here to here. So what? So what? We're here now, and he can't mix it with the big boys. And we're not even asking him to mix it with the big boys. We're literally saying, brother, give us some good players that can give us an opportunity to maybe even try and tussle with the big boys. Nobody's put a gun to his head and say you must win the Champions League or Premier League, but at least give us some players that can bridge that gap. Give us some players that can bridge that gap, but it will never happen. And that's why I got so irate with Ange. right? And I'll get on to Ange in a second. That's why I got so outraged with the Ange outing, because if you really want my answer, he needs to go. He's been pants. But him going is going to change fuck all, because someone like Areola is going to come in, or Marcus Silva, or they might even go lower and get someone like a Gary O'Neill or
Ten Hag.
Or Ten Hag. They'll bring these managers in. They'll make them work with the same squads. They'll give them 1 or 2 players in the summer. They'll give them 1 player in January. They'll keep them short. And then in 2 years later, we'll be having the same conversation about the next manager. And then 2 years later, we'll be having the same conversation about the next manager. I'm tired. 5th time this has happened in 5 years. The 5th time this has happened in 5 years. It happened with Jose, Conte, Nuno, Pochettino, and now Ange. I'm tired of it, bro. Go on, Saeed, hit your bottle. Hit your thingy. Bottle is in it. I know you want to.
Oh, you want to do it?
Yeah, go on, hit it. Hit it.
But can I just add here? Just so we carry on analyzing.
Before you add though. So I realize I'm not really talking about the game there, right? But if I talk about the game, I think having some truthful talks with my friends, I think the penny has finally dropped that, and he's not going to change. This is genuinely
Here we are, mate.
when I look at him, I look at an Australian version of Bielsa. These managers, they're so set in their ways, and it's not even I've come to the conclusion it's not even a personnel thing anymore, because I look at that game yesterday, Grizz and Steve and Matisse, you can attest to this. When he brought on Werner, was I not cussing?
Of course.
I was cussing. What did I say in response to that sub? I said, this is mental. Our midfield has just been beat up. Bear in mind, we were 2-0 up in that first half. We did not play well in that first half. It was one-way traffic from the second goal onwards. That they were keeping the ball way better than we were, and they were manufacturing chances. Cole Palmer missed a
Palmer literally miskicked the ball.
Completely missed multiple situations where it's literally like a 4v4, 3v3.
Our decision making wasn't great.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson put through on goal, and if not for really good last ditch defending from Dragusin, he probably works Fraser Forster there. Fraser Forster had to save a shot from Sancho amongst a sea of 2v1s, 3v1s, because we just kept leaving ourselves short. We're 2-0 up, and I'm seeing our number 8 pressing Chelsea centre back. I'm seeing the entire midfield vacated. And when Brennan Johnson's injured, this is your opportunity to go back to that box midfield that I asked for before the game. I said, start Maddison, play Kulusevski on the right wing, but have him in a free role. So you match them 4v4 in the middle.
What you did against Man City, basically.
Exactly. This is literally what I said before the game, because that's the only way we're going to win this match. There's no way on earth you can play this football with the players that Chelsea have in the midfield, and you think you're going to come out on top.
Because we had a 4v3 in there. Where Caicedo inverting, and credit to the manager, because he made a change when we saw Badiashile was getting pressed. You guys were saying it all first half. Yeah, Badiashile was getting pressed, and he couldn't receive the ball under the press. He kept turning into his left foot, passing it into no man's land, putting everybody under pressure, giving Tottenham chances. So second half, he flips him, switches him to the left-hand side, brings on Gusto, takes off Lavia. And Lavia was actually good in the first half. But once he made that change, and we got the 4 in the midfield with Cucurella inverting, Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer, that was it. We just dominated from that point. And we still gave away chances because Tottenham can break. But I was very happy with the second half performance in comparison.
Do you not remember there was even a period, and I said this in my post, there was a point in the game where we had 18% possession. So it weren't even like, so you're playing this way, we're not even getting the ball. Like, they have the lion's share of possession. So we don't even have the ball. And yet there's no compactness.
Gaps everywhere.
There's gaps all over the pitch. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why are you letting this happen to us? Like, you don't need a world-class team to literally just make yourselves tighter.
Difficult to break down.
Compact. If you have more bodies in the middle, it negates the biggest threat that they had at their disposal in that game. I'm not saying that their attack wasn't threatening. If we did that, let them have the ball out wide. If you've got bodies in the middle, you can deal with whatever they're going to throw at you out wide, because you've got the numbers.
Especially because we don't have like an aerially dominant striker as well. It made no sense from Tottenham. The amount of times I was shouting on the watch along, like, there's so much space, play the ball, space.
And this is, and when you were gone, this is what I was saying to Turkish at halftime. I'm like, Chelsea off 2-1 down, but if it's there, if you could go rewatch it. Like I said, bro, Matisse is looking at that thinking he can still win this game of football. F a draw. He's looking at that thinking he can still win this game of football because we did nothing to shut Chelsea out. Nothing at all. So yeah, we created some opportunities, but if I look at the opportunities, a couple of them were gifts from Chelsea. Let's be serious. They were gifts from Chelsea. And then the rest were a flurry when the game was done and Chelsea took off all their big hitters and were bringing on, who's that brother with the afro?
No, Vega came on, yeah.
Vega and all these B team players. Like, that's when we started to create more opportunities. Like, that's no way to manage a football game. And that tells me, even if you had the best squad possible, you are not a man who's going to play the team or make the changes to get Spurs the best possible outcome. He doesn't prioritize that beyond his own way of playing. And where those two things don't align, I can't trust you. And if I don't have trust in you as a manager, how can I back you as someone who's going to break our trophy drought? It's done. For me, it's done. That Maddison sub after yesterday, it's done. To lose to Chelsea in that manner. To lose to Chelsea in that manner, two seasons on the trot now, shocking management. Because don't forget what he did last season. And I came on this show and I was saying the people noshing off that, putting 6 man on the halfway line, Eric Dyer and them, man. Dyer Davies on the halfway line against Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. And man were lauding that as if that's good. And then this 11v11, there's no excuse now. You had those centre backs. You had near enough our strongest team available, Bar Vicario, and we lose that game in disastrous circumstances. Sorry, I can't get with this anymore. I just can't. Great guy, great mentality, great good football, but I can't get with a man who. I can't get with a manager who can't prioritize attacking with defending. Why does attacking mean that you have to leave our midfield and our defense gaping? You have no responsibility.
I think we've got to give Toby. I think I've got to give a lot of credit to Chelsea because they did give you 2 goals, 2-0 down at Anfield in 13 minutes. I think Chelsea a few months ago probably would have gone down there and probably would have ended up getting beat. They didn't. I thought that the Badiashile Sanchez link up on that side was poor. And we every time they got the ball, Badiashile was panicking. It was going out of play. But I just think Chelsea's got a good side. I think there's a lot of people, the way they started, got gassed about it and said, oh, they've spent 2 billion and look at this shit and all that. I even said on the first episode this season of the Big Six that I think City's result at Stamford Bridge will be good because in a few months' time, I don't think people are going to want to go to Stamford Bridge because I think they're going to get going. I think City caught them cold. And I think they kept going, and they've got quality, man. I mean, Jadon Sancho, that goal was fantastic, to come dancing across there and do that. Cole Palmer, people were saying in the chat, oh, he's stinking the gaff out. He's not stinking the gaff out. He was getting into the game, you know what I mean? And when it mattered, Cole Palmer turned up, you know what I mean, to do what he did. But I feel like Tottenham, I just feel like I said it a few weeks ago, the manager doesn't fill me with confidence. You're looking for a bit of inspiration. You're looking for a bit of fight. Once I seen him last week walking over to the away end and they were giving him abuse, so that usually signals the end. I mean, 2-0 up at home. I said to Turkish, I think they'll get beat 3-0 and he'll be sacked. But I think the manner of defeat, like 4-3, doesn't tell the full story because to lose a 2-goal lead, it's embarrassing. And like you say, some of them players on the pitch, the midfield got it alive. I feel like one pass, it was only one pass. Soon as Chelsea turned out with one pass, they were on the break again. The midfield was bypassed. Our midfield shit at the minute with City, we're exactly the same. We've got Ilkay Gundogan in there with Treacle, running in Treacle, trying to help. But I mean, they had Basuma to me, I don't know what Basuma is doing. But and Fernandez looks like he's improved massive. Caicedo, a bit fortunate with a tackle. We've definitely a yellow card, but we have seen people get sent off for that. And Romeo Lavia for me, I mean, he got a bit. Some people said he didn't have a good game. I actually thought he didn't have a bad game. I thought the way he was turning quick out of defence and getting Chelsea going on the break, I thought that was okay. I know Matisse said to me in the watch along, off the ball, he was struggling a bit. I know he's injured again. That's frustrating.
Yeah, I thought he could have closed down better for a couple of them.
On the ball, he's excellent. On the ball, he was excellent.
He even made some big tackles. I think all of our midfielders contributed with tackles. When I checked the statistics, like they all got stuck in. It's just for the Tottenham goal. I think it was the Kulusevski one. I just thought you need to get closing down. Badiashile misplaced pass, get closing down, get out to them quicker. But yeah, listen, like I said on the watch along with Lavia and Fofana, it's an asterisk this season because they have just had massive injuries and they've been out for so many years or however long it's been, 18 months. I'm not expecting flawless performances. So as long as they can keep themselves available, which obviously Fofana isn't now, he's now injured again, but I'll take it.
What I said on the watch along to Toby is this, right? From the outside looking in, you've just named all them managers you've just had, yeah? Mourinho, Conte, you know, Pochettino, Big Ange. And it's the same constant thing all the time. It's repeat. So you've done the repeat manager situation. You've had the big names, you've had the mid names, you've done that. It comes from the top. I don't care what anybody says. It comes from the top. The top of that football club stinks, and it's pushing shit down on the bottom. And you can get away with that a few times because the fans ain't stupid. So you can sack one manager, then two, and think, hold on a minute, Mourinho didn't get it right. Hold on a minute, he didn't get it right. Then all of a sudden, you got to take a step back and go, you know what? It's the fucking top, because the top dictates the whole football club. If you've got a vibe at the top and you've got people at the top making good decisions and a feel-good factor around the club, it reverberates the whole way around the club. And all of a sudden, you start picking up results and doing things. The top of that football club stinks. There's businessmen running it. All they're concerned about is the dough, the concert revenue, and all that. And they're very, very lucky. They're very, very lucky because if Tottenham was a team like Liverpool, yeah, where the fans, once they got a bone in the mouth, they ain't fucking letting go, they'd have flattened that stadium because it's not good enough. And I feel like the Spurs fans have got to rise in the next few months and they've got to get big changes at the top because otherwise it's going to be exactly the same. You're going to get another big name. Everyone will think he's going to do all right. He'll come in the club. He'll be handcuffed, shackled, won't be able to do his job proper. He'll go out the door. And that's just my opinion. But I just feel like that Daniel Levy just sits there and he thinks, well, I'm doing a good job because I'm bringing in the revenue. But really, you're not, mate, because you can turn over fucking 700 million, but the football you're producing, it ain't winning anything.
Yep, I agree. And I think I fully agree and echo and was pretty much saying everything you said earlier on. I just think, like, whilst Ange, for me, has proven he's not capable of delivering to the level we need, I almost want them to keep him, to acknowledge that this is what happens when you continuously let down managers. You have to stew in your own shit and smell that shit and acknowledge that shit stinks and do everything in your power to make your place clean. Make your place clean. Why do we always have to go into the season like with a deficit? We're spending all this money and yet we're always going into seasons with a deficit. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I asked you, man, the question yesterday. If we spent what, like 300 to 400 million in the last 18 to 24 months. Does this look like a squad that's anywhere close to Liverpool, to Man City, to Arsenal? It doesn't. And that's not me saying that all of these players are bad players. I think we've got some good players, but the problem is we don't have enough to really push. You can't differentiate us from a Newcastle or Aston Villa. You just can't. You can't do it. And I have to get onto some of these players as well, because I do think the consistency, I said this all season, the consistency of some of our players this season has just been a joke, man. It's been an absolute joke. I think Basuma, I'll say it again, he needs to be sold. Him and or Bentancur, they need to be sold in the summer. We just don't get the level of quality that we need. And this is a player who was actually playing well in the game. I said, you're having a good game, but that is just Basuma in a nutshell for you. You think he's safe, he's secure, and then
dives in.
Lack of concentration.
You see that video from the crowd, by the way? How bad it looks. That honestly,
Caicedo's on his left foot in the box,
I know,
wide, and he's diving in. Like, what's your logic there? It doesn't make any sense. Sar's tackle, I'm pretty sure there's no goal for it. We're facing away from goal. Dived in again, or let his knees buckle the back of someone else's ankles. Both penalties are just so embarrassing, honestly.
Both penalties were shocking giveaways. But then I look at Pedro Porro. I thought Pedro Porro was really bad. But again, he's 2v1 pretty much the whole game. I don't know. I just feel like there's been, for whatever reason, this season we've not really. I can't name you. I'd struggle to name you 5 players from Tottenham this season who I can hand on heart say have been like consistently good from game 1 to game 15.
I just think, do you know what it is? I get you're frustrated and going to pick out players, and obviously you have to pick out players when you have that kind of performance. But for me, looking back and looking and reading up on everything since as well, and even at the time at the watch along, I agree with you about Ange. Finally, I think from a coaching, from a manager's point of view, it was one of the worst games a manager can have. Like, to be 2-0 up against one of your fiercest rivals at home and not being able to manage it, and not even manage it, actually make it worse with your substitutions. Have absolute no in-game management. And Steve, what do you call him, Steve? The Undertaker. He's just standing there and he's not reacting to anything. And it's chaos all around him. I mean, that was a chaotic game of football. But he didn't even attempt to ever control it or slow it down with his in-game management or substitutions. The fact that they rushed back their centre-backs proved to be disastrous.
Yeah.
Because now Romero's out for 6 weeks, and that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah.
And just the whole shape of the team, it was just like a pure basketball game. And that's fine. But it kind of worked because it took a 2-0 lead, right? Just like at Man City. But the game management was embarrassing, atrocious, not worthy of keeping a job almost. That's how bad it is, because that's how Spurs fans feel right now, because it was a horror show. And us guys, we don't, we're not coaches. We ain't done our badges, whatever, but we could see the substitutions were going to make it worse. And we were looking at each other, and Toby was distraught, obviously, we had to check.
Can I add to it, bro? I don't think, and I'll be honest, I don't think Ange respects derbies enough. I really don't. I don't think he understands, or he doesn't respect.
That's wild. He's come from the.
I've heard quotes from him prior about this, but I don't think he does, because
no, he does.
So why does he set up like this? Would you tune it up? Why does he do this?
He does. I think he does this because he's that headstrong in his belief of how his team wants to play, that he believes that way will bear fruit eventually. Even though you are trying to do that with a squad that man for man isn't as good as the team you're playing, that is literally getting outplayed in the game. He's so headstrong in his belief that, yep, my way is going to succeed. And to your point, Grizz, we were doing that watch along in Man City. What was the key to the success that game? It was the fact that he was able to mix it up. Sometimes we press, sometimes we sit, sometimes we're compact. Like, it wasn't 50 mile an hour every single game. And that's the champions. So if you can do that against Man City, who are trending in a downward trajectory on form, why are you thinking that playing Chelsea, what is it, because we're at home? Why are you thinking that you can just do whatever? Like, there was literally a chasm of space in the middle of the park. It felt like every single time Chelsea had the ball in the midfield, it was 4 Chelsea players to our maybe 1, if that. Because our other midfielders chasing shadows further up the pitch. Our number 10 is chasing shadows further up the pitch. And whilst I'm critical of these players, I have some sympathy for these players, because they're being asked to play a way of football that is difficult to sustain. It is difficult to play that style of football, run, gas yourselves out, up and down the pitch, this, that, and the third. Lack of coordination with the press in some games. Some games it's great, but in games like yesterday, where you have players, when you go 1-to-1 and you have players who can win that 1-to-1 matchup from a technical perspective and from a physical perspective, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I've said this season Ange's gonna struggle, man, and I've been vindicated. I think for me, it's just his in-game management, bro. It's so bizarre, man. Like, even the MATISSE substitution, yeah, MATISSE is in poor form, but bringing him on that late, it's like, come on, man. But I can't lie to you. I think for me, the most of credit has to go to Chelsea, man. I just think they were just the superior, man, in the end, and they had more kind of, obviously they got more creative players anyway, but just the forward thinkingness. I just think in terms of Sancho, Palmer, like people are going like he scored 2 penalties, but I look at the way he was playing. Obviously the bit where obviously it came off and then he went for Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, man. Chelsea looked the real deal, man. I can't lie to you, man. But for me, Tottenham, scary, man. I think for me, if they lose to Rangers, because you got to remember, I'm just going to Rangers away, and their crowd they hate. You know what I mean? And if they lose there, that's it. Game over.
Why should that be the cutoff point? I don't.
Because it's ace in the Europa League and they drew against Roma. And I don't know if you need to win that one. I don't know where you are.
You need to win that one.
You need to win that one. If Rangers beat you there,
you need to win. You need to win that Rangers.
You need to win it.
Yeah, I genuinely think for me, it's serious. You know what I mean? Then you got Liverpool.
Rangers, man. They'll beat Rangers. They'll beat Rangers.
You should beat them, but
No, man.
Jeez, man, they're playing
man.
with no confidence, bro.
Yeah,
And they
but
got-
it's Rangers.
Exactly.
Different. It's dog and duck league. That shit.
That's what I know. People are
Yeah,
saying
but
he
you
managed
say
the
that,
old
but Tottenham
firm,
not
but
playing well,
Celtic
man.
have won like 9 out of the last 10 Scottish Premiership titles. Like, there's no competition over there for that league. He can go there and play his way. Everybody who
soon.
manages Celtic goes and plays
Speak
whatever way they want to
soon.
play, and they win and they win and they win.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming over here and doing it is a
Speak
completely
soon.
different ball game. Coming over here and doing it is a completely different ball game. You've got to be able to adapt. Even Maresca, he's a forward-thinking coach. He's progressive. He's attack-minded. But I've seen him adapt. I've seen him change. Make substitutions to tighten up or to change things.
Well,
obviously, we've got more depth. Obviously, we've got more depth, but
Forget Maresca, not even trying to disrespect the team, right? But forget Maresca, but like we've seen Pep Guardiola switch from inverted to 4 centre backs to centre back going into midfield. We saw when City, the season where Man City sold company and Fernandinho was dropping off a cliff and they had just signed Rodri. They went through a season of pain. The following season, they tightened up at the back. They signed Ruben Diaz. They had, I think correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, you had the best defensive record in the league that year.
Yeah.
So like we're talking about the greatest manager. The greatest manager can humble himself and realize that he has to do different things in different games, right? To get Man City consistently winning. And that's Pep Guardiola, who's won it 6 times.
Yeah, but I think Matisse is spot on about Maresca, and we need to. Saeed's right. We need to speak about Chelsea and their title chances.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean,
Well, that's you. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see that.
yeah. No. I mean, like, what do you mean?
No, don't
Grizz,
say.
let me ask you.
You ask
Right?
the question.
Who do you see as a bigger threat, us or Arsenal, right now? Who do you see as a
Arsenal,
bigger threat?
Arsenal.
Okay.
Of course. No. But I'm just saying. I'm just being.
No, but are you sure about that?
I'm saying tongue in cheek. No. Look, I think Maresca, and I don't want to keep repeating myself. I think he's a quality coach, and it was the right appointment, and they're going to give him time, and he's been doing it his way. And you're talking about the in-game management. Matisse is spot on. The changes he made, we all saw Badouashile struggling. We all thought Caicedo should be in midfield. We all saw these changes, and he'd done something about it. I thought he had a brilliant game. I'm a massive fan of Maresca, but yesterday, even though you lot want to praise Chelsea more, I still want to cuss Spurs and Ange more. For yesterday, Chelsea have been sparkling and were sparkling, but come on. Toby's right. But Toby's right, guys. We were there. Toby was going mad because it really should have been 4 or 5 goals after half an hour. And that would have been totally game over. So Chelsea's defense, for me, isn't worthy of a title challenge, but they're in the picture.
It's very Brendan Rodgers-esque Liverpool, if you remember that season.
Absolutely.
Loads of goals. But
absolutely. Going forward, I'd say they're the most exciting team around right now going forward. But
they got the most goals, bro. Most goals in the league.
And look, we've cussed Spurs to shit today, but Spurs really should have been 3-4 goals up after half hour. It was insane. Remember, we were there. We were like, Toby was going mad. What are you doing? Why you put this away? And we realized he didn't put them away, and then they paid. So as far as Chelsea are concerned, they've done brilliant to be in this position. Their coach has done a fantastic job in very, very difficult circumstances from top to bottom. So hats off and big up Maresca and the job he's done. Just yesterday in isolation was more on the shittiness of Spurs and Ange as opposed to Maresca's brilliance, even though they were very good.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Fully agree.
But if Ange gets sacked, Tobes, who would you want to replace him? And I know, listen, we're bantering about Ten Hag and that, but who would you be your kind of direct replacement you would want, like you like, and you think would be a good replacement?
See, I don't know any of the foreign managers, so I'd need people to educate me on the foreign managers because when it was,
I'm saying the Bournemouth manager, you know.
yeah. So I'm saying I'm saying foreign. So I was going to go to the Premier League.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know foreign, so I can only stick to the Premier League. In the Prem, I'm taking Iriola in a heartbeat. I think he's a very good coach. I'll take Marco Silva. I think these are two good coaches for me. When I watch their teams, when they want to play with the ball at their feet, they can play good football. They can be defensively responsible, and they can take the game to the opposition. Outside of that, it's long. It's very, very long. So
I think it's a pointless conversation based on what you just said earlier about leaving.
Exactly.
Honestly, we have this conversation with Cove like every 12 months. Who do you think the manager should be? 18 months. Why are we even having this again? Really?
I tell you why you must have it. Because
there's a balance, though.
I tell you why you must have it. The owner's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they have to make him go somewhere.
So if the owner's not going anywhere, you have to have a conversation of the next in line, which is the coach. So you have to have the conversation.
Isn't it all about? Like, isn't it a balance, though? I mean, I'm not disagreeing that Ange is showing. You could call it naivety, whatever you want to call it. I get the frustration, but we can't forget that even the top managers in this league came in and used a season to kind of just test the waters, see what the gaps are. There was many games in Pep's first year or Klopp's first year. And we're talking about the greats here in terms of the last 10 years, let's say, or a couple of them. It took them a year where sometimes tactically people are like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Do you think this is the La Liga or Bundesliga? There was a lot of these questions in the first 12 months. Now, they're at Man City and Liverpool, which were kind of closer to being built as a unit to start winning stuff. So I don't know. There's a balance to it because if I now ask you, because it's not the Kane era no more. So if I now ask you about another manager comes in, how long you giving him? I remember with Kane, you were saying things like they have to win a cup within the first couple of years, right? Or first couple of years. Now you're not in that era anymore. It can't be a new manager comes in and you feel like we should win a cup in 2 years because you're further away from it there now than you was then squad wise. So I don't know. Ange looks very naive, and listen, character and charisma or whatever it is will only get you so far. But there's also I don't know how it feels to be a Tottenham fan. So I'm just from the outside looking in, saying it's not easy to win stuff. Like, you know,
it's not.
So like, what is the remit? Like, you get a new manager in after Ange. Like, what is is it 2 years before we start judging you properly? Is it? I don't know. I don't even know the question I'm asking, but you kind of get the drift of what I'm saying.
I get the drift of what you're saying, but honestly, it fully depends on the people above, right? Because it would be naive of me to demand X, Y, and Z, knowing what I know about Daniel Levy. Like, they're not going to be given the tools to go out and for me to demand a title, a trophy, or whatever you want to call it, right? But what I would like to have seen is I'd like to have seen something different from the managers that we've had in the past. And yeah, it's easy to say the football's different. Absolutely, the football is different. The football's more pleasing on the eye. It's more entertaining. Spurs score more goals. We've scored more goals, but I think we're losing the rate in which we've lost football games and the away record. Like, those are things that we can't ignore. And I think there's a grace that you give someone like Ange Postecoglou. There's grace. I don't demand that he wins a trophy this year. I expect to at least have a good go of winning the trophies this year, but there's only so much you can take, right? And if I look at the league form, we've won 4 away matches in the league, Turkish, this calendar year. From January to December, we've won 4 away league matches. This is the kind of stuff that we sacked. This is the kind of stuff that we sacked Pochettino for. Pochettino. And you compare what Ange has done to what Pochettino has done, it's not even a competition, right? Antonio Conte, I hated him in his second season. I hated his management. We sacked Conte, right? We sacked Conte. Why? Because the football was turgid, the results were bad, and also he was a manager who was so headstrong in his way of playing and did not change his approach to get us the best possible outcome in games. Now, who does that remind you of right now, minus the negative football? So when I look at it that way, I'm almost having to fight against myself when I'm looking at all the positives he brings, because I'm like, you're exhibiting traits that I thought we had moved away from. And there's only so long I can tell myself, okay, it's his first time, it's his first year in the Prem. It's gonna humble him. Eventually, I think the Prem is gonna slap him in his face, and he's gonna start approaching these games with a bit more game intelligence, right? I haven't seen it. Ange's been here since August last year. I haven't seen it, bro. And at this point, I don't know if we are going to see it. He's going to be 60 years old. He's not a spring chicken. He's not Arteta, who's at the infancy of his managerial career. This is a grown man who's won these trophies in Japan and Scotland. So he's got it within himself that he's more than justified to play the way he's going to play.
This was the move. This was the move that makes him or breaks him, basically. After stints in Australia, Scotland, this was the upgrade to the big boys league. This was the move that, many were saying that we're gonna see what kind of manager he really is. And yeah, I do like him, but yeah, I'm with you, man. What I saw on Sunday was atrocious.
That's not enjoyable. At the very least, entertaining football. Did I look like I was enjoying that game?
No.
That's not enjoyable. We've played how many games this season? No, genuinely, we've played how many games this season? And I can count on my hands how many times I've genuinely enjoyed watching the games.
Before we move on to super chats, Matisse, am I right in saying I've seen somewhere or I heard somewhere 2 trophies on the cards this year? Yeah, just to get that in now as well.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, the Conference League, I always say, doesn't really count because I mean, if we win that, damn
so
right we should.
It's 2 on top of that.
No, it's included now. But like I said, that's like a gimme. And then FA Cup or Club World Cup, I definitely want to leave with minimum 1, but I'd love to get both. So yeah, man. 2 cups, 2 tits. That's what it's about.
2 cups. Expectations changing. We will be there. Let me get the super.
It's always been that, by the way. Start of season, 2 cups. I've always
you
said
need to get in the gym. That's what you need to do.
Listen, brother.
Listen, next season, that is.
Don't worry about that.
No,
you need to get into a mental clinic, bro. The way you're moving.
You probably need to get a breast pump as well to milk those moves. That's what you need to do.
Oh, where's this conversation going? Okay, where's it going?
Do you know what? You see,
we're entering the realms
I'm gonna
of
just
monetization again. So
I'm gonna stop talking because
draw it back a bit.
Yeah, let's not do no orange. No orange.
Oh, you.
He said let's. He said let's not.
Let's. Don't say let's. Yeah, you.
Let me get the super chats on the subject in. Red Devil Rebel says, from Matisse to my jacket to my jumper to my shirt to my tits, absolutely wild scenes on the mob. Or any YouTube stream ever. Come on. Love for the love. Mr. BP says, shout out to the panel. You man have come so far from GRIZZ threatening to strip on stream to Matisse actually doing it. Yeah, I did remember that.
If we win the no, I'm not doing it.
Football carnage. You saved that for football fucking carnage, mate. Don't that doesn't.
Man.
We've had more than enough of.
I'm just saying, brothers. If we win the league and it's on a mob watch along, I'm just saying.
Chicken strips. That's your strips.
Chicken strips. Yeah.
Certain men are getting their heads slapped. That's what I'm saying.
Why? Rishab says, why does Matisse get bullied into saying he's in a title race when we all know this Chelsea defense can't sustain a title run? Better to be in a race to actually win than just make noise about winning.
No, I get that.
I don't think Matisse has been
Yeah.
cornered into. I think he's done quite well in terms of avoiding it over this time. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe you've heard something I haven't. Robert says
this
in
brother's
June.
gonna dunk.
In June, I said we'd finish second. You laughed. Said we had elite recruitment. You laughed. Said we are well run. You laughed. Said we had the best attacking unit in the league. You laughed. Who's laughing now?
I lie.
Yeah, but can I just a rebuttal to this, and big up, Robert. You in the same sentences with everything you said. Liverpool are finished. And I laughed. You said we had shit recruitment. I laughed. Said we were poorly run. I laughed. So who's laughing now?
Both of you, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah, you both laughing.
A lot of
No,
laughter
but
in
he,
the room.
no, but he can't
They're
say
not
one
laughing
and not the
there.
other. His statement was for Chelsea was all he had Liverpool mentioned in the chat every time.
Robert, make sure you try join us for the community calling this month. I haven't figured out a day yet because the month is so littered with games and obviously the holiday period towards the end. So I'm trying to get it in somewhere, but make sure you're on the next one. It's time for your revival on the Big Six, because you was mocked quite a bit. You're not wrong. JML says the amount of confidence it takes to remove your best player in the first half, change a system that wasn't working. Maresca's best game so far. Mustafa says you don't flash live on stream with all that chest and then back away from title talk, Matisse. I love this show with a passion. Big up.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's for a title. It's just for Tottenham away. It's just living in the
I
moment,
hear it,
enjoying
man.
the
You know,
match.
it's a
Got
derby,
nothing to do with anything wider than that.
I hear it, man. Enjoy it.
Nev Talk says, how much longer are we keeping Spurs in the Big Six? Why is there not a case for Brighton or Aston Villa? This club is actually shameful for the Premier League.
Because they don't consistently finish in the Big Six. Next question.
And that's where we come full circle and say Daniel Levy deserves some credit, but let's not get into that. Hamza says, we actually need to expunge Potter's time at the club from the record books. He's the only Chelsea manager to lose. He's the only Chelsea manager to lose at that new stadium. Bum. Salmon says, I'm going to say Salmon Uske. Are you worried by the amount of chances Spurs created, Matisse? All jokes aside, they could have easily scored 8-9 on any other day. Great mob watch along.
Yeah, of course. You know, we had some really good performers, and then we had some poor performers. I think Colwell, Badiashile, Cucurella, I think is just harsh. I saw Jamie Carragher on comms saying it's embarrassing and it's schoolboy stuff. I don't know if you were saying that when Gerrard slipped. I don't know. For me, I just think it was a bit of bias from him. I'm not going to blame anyone for slipping, but at the end of the day, this is why I'm not saying we're title contenders in December, because I've seen title contenders, Chelsea teams before in December, and they're defensively resolute. They're very, very balanced from back to front. They got a top goalkeeper, and they can get clean sheets when need be. So let's see. Right now, we're overdoing what I expected at the start of the year. So I'm just enjoying it. I'm not really concerned about anything.
You said he was harsh on Cucurella. If that was any other player who slipped twice.
Yeah, but it's an accident. If someone slips, but you don't mark that as them being poor. You mark that as an accident. That's a clear and obvious accident. No one slips and you say
once
that's
is
a
an
shocking.
Twice is
because of the boots. And then after he got the boots changed, he didn't slip again, did he? So
yeah, he played well, but I'm just saying you can't get onto Jamie Carragher for saying that's like schoolboy stuff. That's mad.
I think it is poor from him to say it's embarrassing. It's a schoolboy error. I want
to get your thoughts on Colwell, because Colwell, he's had a good season, but I don't know, like there's just something about him sometimes. Like he feels like a centre back that you can get at. Like he's very good on the ball.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm being harsh, but he definitely feels like a centre back that, like, if
he can be got at for sure. If
you're a good striker, you can really like cause this guy problems.
He's I saw this thread today. I don't know if it was a Tottenham page. I put up all these different types of centre backs, and they said, you know, you got ballers, you've got aggressors, you've got sweepers, and you've got one other, I can't remember, but Colwell definitely falls in the definition of a baller. Now, he's had great defensive displays this season where he's dug in and he's been strong and resolute and made blocks and been a captain figure-esque. But yeah, over a stretch of the season, he's going to have moments where he is a bit fragile. He gets brought out wide to Salah and gets cooked, or, you know, he can be out-muscled. So he's still growing. But one thing people need to remember is that he's 21. He's a young centre-back. Centre-backs don't peak
21.
until mid-20s, late 20s. Maybe it's, let me check the age so I'm not giving you false information, but he's very young. He was a teenager at Brighton. So he's a vet. So I don't want people to make the same mistake we made with others, where it's like we judge them at early 20s if they're going to be a top centre-back or not. I know Saliba's a freak. That's different, but that's not the norm. Most centre-backs don't peak until mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s. So he's developing from last season, so I'm happy with him.
Sai says, Tobes got a life sentence of community service. Hold that. Said I would be back Tottenham is the epitome of a non-trophy organization, just pure vibes. DJ says, would any of you sack your manager if in the last 43 you won 18, lost 19 and drew 6? Ange is crap. Sorry. Yeah, you put it like that, the numbers don't lie. Let me just make sure I get the ones on the subject in. Omega says Spurs was gifted 2 and went, nah, here's 2 back. Basuma could have blocked Sancho's goal and gave the pen. SAEED, what's going on with United? Don't worry, we've still got a bit of the show left to cover all other topics, people. Dial Square says Spurs are so shit they're actually cook resistant at this point. So the question is, what's the point of Tottenham if you're a fan? PS Anjin. The subtle bomber clots in the intro has me rolling, says the final whistle. Big up Skull on that intro. I don't think I got that in, but it was, he always adds little gems in there and just.
You have to look out for them.
Yeah, always.
Or hear out or listen out for them.
Actually, this one's more for the Arsenal, but I did just get rid of it. Adash. Mad season top 13 is insanely competitive. How Arsenal just 2 points above Crisis City and the Mud Brothers, United and Spurs, just above West Ham, who've been horrendous.
Oh, so Spurs and Man United are the Mud Brothers now. When was this one?
I said this months ago.
Oh, did you? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I did. I think it's fair.
Yeah, you moved on. I like it. You moved on.
I'm not.
Jay.
That's SAEED already.
Jay says, when Spurs sacked Jose before a final because they didn't want to pay a bonus if you won, tells you all you need to know. Was that actually the reason?
Is that actually true?
I don't think so. Thing, but he deserved to be sacked. Sorry. I know that in hindsight, yes, I probably would have let him play the final, but we wouldn't have won it anyway. He was dog shit. I'm not having that one.
The form leading up to it was crazy. West Ham says, I can't understand people who support Spurs with no passion of winning trophies. Your cabinet is empty. It's the history. Up the Chelsea. And actually, that one's on Arsenal. I'll save that one. Big up Elisa in the building. Says, Levy and Co are the problem. Commercially good, sporting terrible. The cycle will repeat itself with the next manager. This ownership means 5th, 6th place is the ceiling. You're best keeping the entertainment till ownership can change.
But it's not entertaining consistently. That's the problem.
But the problem with this, Elisa and Tobes, is this comes from a place where it's only an owner like Man City's that's going to come in and change Tottenham as a football club. Like, you're not going to get like.
I don't agree.
More often than not, the owners of all of our clubs are more businessmen first, financials first, then winning second, then winning, right? It's only really Steve and Matisse that went through an era of owners where they didn't really care too much about the bottom line. It's more about the winning and getting. It's rare to have that type of owner. So even if you get another businessman owner in, you got to work within your means. It's not like you don't spend money. You spend money within your means. But when you've got other clubs around, like the Big Six, everyone's still going to spend. It's not going to just change like that with a new owner. So, but I'm not going to get into it. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, but Spurs have the means, Turkish. Well, nobody's asking for Tottenham to go out and spend 400 million every summer. We're saying, if you're going to go out and spend 150 million, spend that 150 million on 3 genuine game changers or 2 genuine game changers.
But does that mean you just need new sporting directors then?
Bro, no, because it's not just a sporting director thing, right? It's about
you recruited well under previous guy. He recruited quite well.
It's not necessarily bad recruitment per se. It's recruitment that doesn't move the needle for Tottenham. That's the concern, or doesn't consistently move the needle for Tottenham. And that isn't a sporting director thing. Of course, the sporting director is culpable, but to cut a long story short, again, I have to go back to Dominic Solanke and Eze example. In that scenario, a serious club goes out and signs Eze. We went out and signed Brennan Johnson. We could afford Eze. We have the wages to pay Eze. It wouldn't break the bank, but that's just not the attitude that is pushed down onto the club from the ownership. They would much rather go for the conservative signing who's more versatile, younger, and will cost less than wages.
I think you're more likely to go down a Liverpool route and just find gems. And I know you don't want to hear that, but Liverpool showed that you can make a success out of finding gems and doing great recruitment, not necessarily breaking the bank every time. I know they did it for Van Dijk and Alisson, but apart from that, most of them were in and around that 30 to 50 million pound range. That's where I see you guys. I just think you, like you said, you just sign players that are not worth the money, whether it's Brennan Johnson, whether it's Richarlison or whatever. You shop in the wrong markets. But in terms of the actual money you spend you spend roughly what you want to spend. Like you do spend good money over the last few transfer windows.
But I'm not asking from. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
When you say needle movers, what players are you talking about? You're talking about like Kudus and players like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm talking about guys who come into this team and they have a distinct level of quality that we don't have. Those players, Spurs don't sign those players consistently. We sign good players. As I said, we've got a good base. Like there's a good.
But that's
base
why I think it's a sporting director thing, because the sporting director would identify
we've had
solid base level like technical players and say, right, get those players.
But we've had three sporting that we've had I think two sporting directors in the last 4 years, and that some of Johan Lang, the jury's out, but Paratici bought some good players.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, again, it's the attitude that comes from Daniel Levy to the sporting director. The sporting director can give you 5 players. If Daniel Levy's saying, I want a player that fits within this criteria, what's the sporting director going to say to that? What are they going to say to that?
Bear says, just started watching. The intro is legendary. Up the Chelsea. Matisse, get your tits out for the lads. Mad super chat. But I get it. Mad. The K says, or the Kai, sorry, it's not Ange, it's not Jose, it's not Conte, it's the owner and the fan base. You guys expect top 4 and trophies just cause. Lucky to be a part of the top 6. So a bit of blame on both sides there.
Uneducated bums like that, man, don't deserve any attention.
Wait, what do you mean?
The statement, you expect top 4 in a trophy. Nobody expects that. Get the hell out of here, man. Bum.
Yeah, I don't agree with Toby's sentiment about you. I forgot the name on that super chat, but I think you're a top guy. Just Trust Ash says, you guys are going way too easy on TOBS. Cook this fraud. How are Spurs even allowed to be called top 6? Get a new team on the panel.
Can I take this one, Toby, for you? Why is my brother a fraud? Tell me why. What makes you think he's a fraud? What makes you say that and send money in to call him a fraud? Did you see his emotions and passion and his feelings? We banter, we joke, and we had laugh and we had mad vibes. How is he a fraud? Why are you just throwing stupid words around for no fucking reason whatsoever? How can I trust you, Ash? Just trust Ash.
Just trust Ash.
Cook this fraud. How is he a fraud? He's what you see is what you got. He was that mad and he's calmed down a little bit. He gave the emotion and passion on Sunday, and now he's given the analysis.
I think he's saying, and maybe I'm sticking up for Ash, but I'm just trying to trust Ash. I think what he's saying is his team are fraudulent, and we need to.
We know this.
The fraudulent representative of said team. So it's not about TOBS. Anyone could sit there. Fuad was sitting there.
No, he's saying too easy on TOBS. He's cooked this fraud, man. Are you not reading properly? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, fraud. Pause, man.
There's no fraud, man.
You're reading it as it's fraud, man. I'm reading it as it's fraud.
Guys, let's end this. Let's end this. I want Ash to,
man.
Let's end this.
No more cooking TOBS, man. Let's move on.
I want him to take my place for one episode, sit in my seat, and let him be me on the Big 6. Let's see how he gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but who does he support though?
I'll come in a calling show, innit? And
doesn't matter.
Yeah, calling show.
Just trust Ash. You better be on the calling show.
He won't be.
Raji says, feel for Ange. How bad were Arsenal 18 months into Arteta's reign? He has to imprint his philosophy before he tinkers too much. Dead teams can't be resurrected overnight, especially without spending. I want to add to that, but we ain't got all day. I agree. GRIZZ, Robert says, GRIZZ, a well-run club doesn't wait till now to offer its 3 best players contract renewals with no replacement. One summer, FSG in, next FSG out.
He's got you there.
A well-run.
No, he has, because I remember you saying on one of your other streams, saying, "Yo, this is not very smart business from us to let these 3."
It's not. And what's the key part in that?
What?
What's the key part in that? What you just said. If they let them go,
brother, it's poor regardless. The fact that they've put themselves in a position where they can be played and manipulated by a group chat of 3 players
ultimately
to take them to the cleaners. You're going to get taken to the cleaners, bro.
Ultimately, FSG are in such a strong financial position that they can even afford to let them go for free. So to be in a financial situation that we're in,
you can't afford to let them go for free. Your fan base will burn down the
fan base. What I'm saying is, from a business point of view, they can afford to. They won't. I'm saying, and that's the litmus test. If they do let them go, so A, they won't let them go. B, management ownership's sole purpose is to make money and win trophies. Have we not done?
You're not making good money with these three. If you
We're
let them
making
go for
good
free.
money, brother. Go and check our books, and we're winning trophies. So I'd say we're a very very well run club. But you're right. Only if they let them go for free. That's awful business.
And this one's also for you, Grizz from Ramadan, saying, Uncle, you still think Chelsea won't win a major in the next 5?
I didn't say that.
You did. Thank you for lying here in front of me. I remember it like it was yesterday. You distinctly said it with confidence. Yes.
You remember that? You know what's our favorite phrase in it last few weeks? We're presented with new evidence.
Brother, they will don't test this chat. They will bring this receipt so fast
now as well.
You have to change hats. They'll bring this receipt so fast.
Win a major in the next 5 and we talk. Champions League and Premier League, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a major, right?
That's a major.
FA Cup's not a major for me.
All right.
No, FA Cup's a major, especially since.
No, don't.
Of course, an Arsenal fan would say
No. We're in a for Arsenal, League and Champions League, but Chelsea, because this is their first year back to be an FA Cup would be very nice for you, man. You're not going to look down on an FA Cup.
No.
Bro, I'm kicking this one.
The hell?
The chat, man. He's chatting
But I
shit.
don't think now that my thing is the FA Cup is on the same level as the Premier and the Champions, so it has
man.
to be called something else. Maybe not major, maybe medium.
Yeah, I get you. It's not League Cup. It's not League Cup, but it's not Champions League.
Yeah, it's a medium thing. Yeah.
Jill knows says Chelsea have generated the most open play XG in the league by a distance. A lot of people here were wrong about a lot of players. And DJ says, imagine Jose was crap and you sacked Ange's. Imagine Jose was crap and you sacked him. Ange's worse with win percentage plus 400 mil spent. You say give it time. Well, TOBS ain't got no time to give anymore. Bear also adds, if we ever need 3 points to escape relegation, I'd pick to play Spurs, even if they're 20 clear. 3-point lane since 82. Can we please remove Spurs from the panel? It's actually insulting to have a club that is so shit trying to banter any other club. Don't get drawn in. Don't get drawn in.
When is the next calling? That's all.
I'll tell you how bad. Same amount of games. Arteta had 12 points more after a season and a half of games. And I think that's it on Tottenham and Chelsea. Yep. Looks like if I've missed any, I'm sure I'll get them in later. If I haven't read them, then there's probably more in that super.
None of these lot will come on the calling show. Guys, we ask you, implore with you, come on the calling show and air your views. Have a proper conversation. They won't. Toby's waiting.
Before we move, listen, people, 8.1 in the building. So hit the like button first and foremost. I haven't checked how many likes we're on. I'm not going to check. Get us to 2K. So the first time I check, hopefully I'm happily surprised we're on 2K. Calm, we move. But I need to remind you, people, you can see there's a QR code on the screen, bottom right corner of the screen, Proton VPN. They are sponsoring the main show. Big up Proton. They've been sponsoring the mob watch-alongs and a few review and preview shows here and there. You need a VPN. Go grab it. Show them some love. They show us some love. Everyone needs a VPN, whether to watch football, Netflix, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, all of them things there. Wherever you are across the world, available in a hell of a lot of countries, over 8,500 servers. And listen, if you support the Big Six, if you support the mob, if you're supporting what we're doing, then go show Proton some love, people. There's an exclusive offer if you scan that QR code, link in the live chat as well. And there'll be a link in the pinned comment section as well for the people watching after. So go show Proton some love, people. 8K in the building. I'm expecting a few clicks on that link. And let's move. I mean, I kind of want to move to GRIZZ, who kind of feels like the winner of the weekend, but without even playing. Because, you know, we might as well roll this all into one now. Man City drop points, Arsenal drop points, Liverpool.
No.
No?
Let's roll Liverpool and Man City into one. Let's put Arsenal by itself. Yeah?
Why is that, though? Can you justify what you just said?
Why I don't need to go. No, I don't even need to go. You know that. I think it's Man City. I think the top three, we need to just speak. I don't think there's nothing to say. Like, our game got cancelled. I wasn't confident. Lucky, call it whatever you want. I sensed we're going to drop points, and I sensed at least, that's why I dared all three to win. Chelsea obviously took up the challenge.
I told you under your tweet. Nice try.
Yeah. Chelsea bust up my challenge, but I had a feeling that this is going to be another wild west weekend, and so it turned out, man. Like, Palace away, for whatever reason, Man City do bloody struggle over there, and obviously Steve was there, so he's going to talk about it. The Arsenal Fulham one I didn't expect. I actually thought Arsenal gonna beat them because Fulham are going through that same 3 games in 7 days that everyone else is going through, but they haven't got the squad rotation to keep playing a strong team every week. So I was very surprised with the Arsenal game. The City one, I'm kind of expecting City to struggle in every away game. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how Steve feels, but every away game, I think City are gonna struggle. I'm not saying lose, but I'm saying just it's going to be a battle for them every away game. Every away ground has got their, what's the word? Like, I don't know, like confidence or like, let's have a go without Rodri, City,
The bravery, to take them on.
Being braver against City.
And that's the worst Palace team in years, by the way.
The Arsenal one was a total bonus. So yeah, without playing, we've very comfortable. Obviously, the Everton game will be rearranged. And Everton, we've got a disgusting record away. And at wild, windy Goodison Park, Sean Dyche would have had a field day against us. But let's see when the fixture comes round. But yeah, the City one I kind of expected. The Arsenal one was, for me, very, very much a surprise.
I guess the best question to ask is who's in it, who's out, like shake it all about. What's going on?
Steve's definitely out. Man City definitely out.
You should not say shake anything about, right?
Top 4 finish for Steve, man.
Yeah, we listen, we're miles off it. I've said it. We're miles off it. We had a good performance against Forest midweek. He changed it up a little bit. We battered Forest, to be fair. Clean sheet, great. Gets to the weekend game, team's totally changed again. He said people are carrying knocks. Okay, we get that. Went back to the side that was losing on the trot. So we've got 3 fit defenders. We've got Juventus this week and then United Sunday.
Ooh, so then Villa, by the way, away. Villa away.
Yeah, we need to get people back fit and quick. So it's just one of them things at the minute when the shit hits the fan. It happens in a run, but Palace, we conceded a stupid goal again. Rico Lewis was too far inside. Kyle Walker playing everyone onside. Then Big Earl equalised. Again, they scored. Corner, nobody marking, just headed it in. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Ruben Diaz, who was literally blocking everything and throwing his head in the way and fighting, then Palace would have beat us. I mean, Ruben Diaz, for me, coming back's massive, and he's just leading by example at the minute. But the team's struggling. Don't expect sympathy. We know where we are as a club and what we're going to do. And we just got to get players back and get to January and try and tighten it up a little bit. But the maddest thing is, like you said before, it's a Manchester City team in crisis. And we're 2 points off Arsenal. So, nobody's blowing us away. Nobody's pushing us down the league. Nobody's doing it. Everyone says every year you got to get rid of Manchester City. You don't want Man City coming back after Christmas. Well, somebody needs to do it because January's fast approaching and we're still 2 points behind Arsenal. So count us out of the title race. We're doing our own thing back here. But if you lot keep squabbling at the top and not taking advantage and this Man City team gets their act together, then it might be one of them surprise motherfuckers in January and we might be back. So you never know, man.
I heard that you lot are interested in Bruno Guimaraes, but they probably won't sell him in January. I think that would be a very good signing for Man City.
But the Newcastle lads are saying this season he's been shit and he's not doing it. So
he's not played well. He's not played well.
He's like Paqueta, the fall off.
There's very few Rodri replacements first. We know this. Like, he's a rarity. But Bruno Guimaraes, I hope they sign him because he's not the answer to their problems right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, him by himself, no. I think they need one more with him, but I feel like
they actually need another goal scorer, like Alvarez, dare I say it, like someone who's got
from anywhere else. Take Erling Haaland out the team. It's relegation form.
Gvardiol
still no goal. Savio, it's mad. So
Savio has been brought in from Girona, and he shouldn't be anywhere. He should be starting games. He should be coming on last 20 minutes, a bit like Doku first season. But we got no choice. He's got to play. Rico Lewis is now suspended. So, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. He didn't play, he didn't start against Forest and Walker, and we're going to win 3-0. So we just need to get.
He took his goal, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he took his goal. He scored 3 goals, and they've all been against Palace. He took his goal really well. And to be honest, he shouldn't have got sent off. But the thing is, we're just trying to bundle our way through the season. 1 minute he's playing left back, then he's playing right back, then he's playing centre mid. That's not a Manchester City team. Did you see the bench?
I'm just looking at it now. The bench
look at Manchester City's bench. Read the names out on the bench. Yeah, read them out.
Jack Grealish, Doku, Edison, Carson. That's Scott Carson, by the way. Jacob Wright, Samson Pussy, Nico O'Reilly, McAtee, and Wilson. Yeah, well, it's too late now, isn't it? Wilson, Esbran.
Right, well, there you go. So Grealish is not fit. Doku's not fit, but they're on the bench. And then the rest of them are all kids. Now, to you, is that a Manchester City title-winning team that's won 4 league titles in the trot with that kind of bench? Chelsea's bench was better than ours. Tottenham's bench is better than ours. Toby was slagging Timo Werner off. I'm not being funny. Timo Werner starts for us the way we are at the minute.
Yo, relax. I keep telling you. Tell
me Timo Werner will start over Nunes.
On your fall from grace, you have to still have the
Timo Werner.
Timo Werner starts, mate. And you slagged Basuma before. Basuma would start.
Oh my!
Tommy wouldn't. Tommy wouldn't.
That's different, though. Basuma can play. He's just inconsistent. That's different.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. So he fell off that much now. Pep's out talking about riddles, and they're asking him about sending off, and he's going, it's because it's Rico. It's because it's Rico.
He's in a funny place right now,
bro. His mood right now is bad.
I was in the hotel with the team, yeah, and they didn't sign one autograph for one kid and nothing. It just looked miserable as fuck. Walking past everybody.
What about that Hamza guy? What was he doing, Hamza? Was he
mate, Hamza, right? He jumped over the barrier and chased Pep Guardiola with a sheet of paper and said, "Pep, I've got some transfer targets for you to buy."
Bro, that's
I just thought to myself, is this what's happening now? Is this what's happening now? You've got Hamza chasing down the greatest coach in world football, telling him who to buy and like his championship manager.
I can't lie,
Steve. Heckling Pep as well.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen that video. So was it a Liverpool fan who was trying?
Yeah, definitely
Liverpool fan who was trying to get a Pep. Pep was so close to swinging on him.
He's in a
very delicate right now.
We went there in our numbers, man. The away support was mint at weekend at Palace. It was great, and it is what it is, man. We got a point at Palace. Palace ain't my favourite place. I always tell you that every season now. I don't like Palace. And I'm not going to Juventus because it's shit. Juventus is a shithole. I've been before. It's crap. I'm not going there. But I'll be there at the derby at weekend. I'm going to go Paris Saint-Germain. But we're there where we are, people. We know where we are. People saying,
it's going to be a draw, by the way.
What's your Champions League situation? Because it's not
terrible. Terrible, because we drew to final.
Juventus, man. Right,
so we got to beat Juventus away, Paris Saint-Germain away, and Bruges at home.
17.
You'll beat PSG, man.
Imagine you get 5 points. Would that be enough?
I think so.
Yeah, they're playoffs as well, isn't it? So it's still.
Well, you beat PSG, man. You beat PSG, and then just get a draw at Juventus. But yeah,
the way the format is, it's very difficult not to qualify. To be fair,
who have you got in the Champions League?
Juventus away, Paris away. And
Juventus are poor anyway. Juventus are not the same at all.
But this, he's just got a. It's just he winds me up when he was saying like, "I want my team back," and it's like, listen, mate, you probably weren't going to stay. You've told everyone to just let's bumble through the season. Then now you're staying. Now you want your team back. But we all know that we were 1 or 2 injuries. We got away with injuries for the last few years. City, they've been really good with the injuries. They've not had a real big crisis where you thought we had De Bruyne out for ages and Haaland for a bit, but we had replacements there. But now we look so thin. It's like, so if Haaland gets injured, we are finished, mate. We can't even play Foden as a false 9 because he's not doing it and he's injured.
Yeah, so if Haaland pulls a hammy or anything,
we're dead. We're dead. And this is what I'm saying.
Honestly, they'll struggle to make top 4 without Haaland.
It's crazy right now.
And this is on them not strengthening. So this is what we got to see in January, because a lot of people, when things go bad for your football club, people always make these mad accusations. Oh, he's fell out with him. There's things behind the scene. The charges are affecting him. Well, the fact is this: they need bodies in January. If they don't sign anybody in January, there's a serious problem somewhere, because it will be deeper. Because there's no excuse. It's not like we're skint. We've got the dough. They've been saving it all up with this money and that. They've said that, the FFP, the dough there. So January, I don't care if you've got to spend 10, 15 million pound more. When you're in a crisis that you have put yourself in, it's tough shit. You're going to get a slap. So if you knock on my door and say, we want your midfielder, and I value him at 50, he's now 70 because I know you're desperate. And that's the position they've put themselves in. So we'll see in January, but getting to January just feels like it's long. We've got the odd mob at weekend who if we don't beat them, then
listen, that is the litmus test.
Yeah.
Do not fail to beat that Manchester United team, because as bad as you are, they are worse. They are worse.
I mean, Saeed's still smiling here like
that mob over there. Yeah. There's levels. And if you drop down to that level, shit.
We got beat up from last season in the FA Cup final. So we got beat. But you know, this time at home in this run, we can't be getting beat off them. We can't be getting beat off them.
It's at home. It's at home.
You going to the game, Saeed?
Listen, I might be, you know what I'm saying? We might see.
I'm well away from my stadium, mate, as you're getting filled in.
It's actually get along with City fans, man. You know what I mean?
Fucking war on Sunday, mate. Let me tell you that.
Nah, man.
They're not in a good mood
right
now.
The mood's changed, man. People are angry at the edge now, mate. Don't be walking down that chipper thinking you're going to get away scot-free. Someone's going to slap you up before you take your so I'm telling you now, even Trap said that I ain't going on Sunday. I've just got this weird vibe about City fans. I said, well, when they're angry, man, you know the game.
Get Steve security, man. We'll be all right.
Let me see the super chats that have come. Well, there's one here from Tax Evader saying Gundogan and Silva playing in midfield together is still winless. Hopefully Pep makes changes for the derby, because if Will Hughes can drop a masterclass against us, then what can United do?
Will Hughes, you know.
Derby County.
That guy's funny, mate. He was just on vibes him at weekend, that Will Hughes guy.
Oh shit.
And Cecito says stress-free weekend for the Red City and Arsenal stalling if Carlsberg did weekends.
Yo. Big up, Cecito. Big up.
And that's the only one on City. All right, cool. We move. Hit the like button, people. Make sure you're subscribed. Notification bell on individual channel. Links in the description below. And show Proton some love. Let's move. Arsenal. Go on. What's the questions? I'll provide answers to the best of my ability. I didn't sing it in the first place, so...
No, the chat. I want the chat to sing it in the.
I just want to talk one thing about that Arsenal game. Yeah, that fucking defense from Fulham for the corner has blown my mind. How can you have 6 men stood at the near post?
Are you still angry over that?
I'm still angry about it, Chris. I'm still angry about it. You've got men behind the ball and you're letting them run on you. That is just a joke. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. It's a fucking pathetic. It's just madness. Man-to-man mark him, grab him, pull him, bounce him off the pitch. Do what you need to do. Do not let 6 big monster centre-backs get a run on you at the back post and not expect to concede. They came close first, like 2 corners before that, they nearly scored. And then to do that again, I'm like, wow. But it's not reinventing the wheel. It's not, we can't, this new thing, Arsenal are the king of set pieces. They're fucking not. You got 6 men at the front letting them run on you. What do you expect? Go back to old school defending, man-to-man mark, and fucking see what happens then. But like you say, in the end, the game went the way it went. But for me, I'm still wound up about. I'm wound. The 2 things that have wound me up the last few weeks on this show: Fulham's defending and somebody calling Johnny Stones Johnny Gravel. That I can't get out of my mind. That's a fucking disrespect. It's bad. So other than that, I'm all right.
I love that. Johnny Gravel.
Johnny Gravel, mate. Done me in.
He's back smiling. Well, on Arsenal, I mean, on the set pieces, thank God for the set pieces at this moment in time. Otherwise, you know, would be struggling this season overall. But listen, I mean, You man know my thoughts on how we went into the season, and I think all those thoughts are more a reality now than ever. I remember arguing with Big Steve after the City game, or in and around the City game, and he was saying show some more chest than that. And it's hard to, when you know that you've left yourselves light and the deficiencies are there, and you know it's going to catch up to you because you've seen it time and time again. It's really hard to, even though I've stuck my neck on the line and me and Steve made a bet and it looks like neither of us are going to win the league, so neither of us are going to win that bet. There was always that thing in the back of my mind that said, we can't have Kai Havertz as the striker. We can't have Jesus as his only backup. We haven't refreshed the left-hand side at all. And lo and behold, it's coming back to bite us. Now, listen, defensively, we have got a lot of injuries, but it's not the defense that's costing us still. Regardless of those injuries, we're well stacked in that position to make it work and make it make sense. But Arteta just, at times throughout different seasons, there's Tinkerman vibes. Like, what I don't get with Mikel, firstly on the team selection, is at times this season, Man City, you need to, hold the result is 10 men, or Liverpool. You've got injuries and it's backs against the wall towards the end, and you bring on Lewis Skelly. And it's like, well, but it's quite bold. Zinchenko's on the bench, but you bring on Lewis Skelly, left back. He played there in the pre-season tour. He looked good. He's more a box-to-box midfielder, but what you ask from that left back is to be a midfielder anyway. So it kind of works hand in hand. So you do that against Man City and Liverpool. And then all of a sudden, Zinchenko's out, and you move Timber out to left back, who has aided the attack so much in the last 2 weeks since the international break at that right back position. And I'm a big fan of Ben White, but Timber's been excelling there since the international break. He's been key to a lot of the open play goals we scored in the first 3 games off the back of the international break. So you've moved him out of position to put him left back. Why? Why, when you've shown that you trust Lewis Skelly enough to come on against Man City and Liverpool at higher pressure moments, not to start him in and then people will say Adama. Everyone's a mismatch against Adama if we're talking about the threat he possesses. There's no one there that we had that we could say we are confident that he's going to stop what Adama does, because Adama does what he does against most. He's a loose cannon. He's wild. You can't really manage that. But moving Timber from right back to left back just, kind of ruined that right-hand side, because I think it's easier to manage when it's just Odegaard and Saka. You have a little overload there. Our left-hand side is producing absolutely nothing at this moment in time, whether it's Trossard or Martinelli. It led to what it led to. It led to what it led to, which is a performance that didn't yield many open play chances. And the few that it did, the people we have up top are not good enough or are not clinical enough to win us that game. Goes back to what I said in the summer. We need a striker. We need a left winger. We need to add someone more clinical to this front line. So it's all of these things just coming back. And that's what's frustrating, because it's only game week 15 or 14 or whatever it just was. There's still a lot of the season to play. And already this season, we've been caught out in terms of how light we've left ourselves. So it's not the last time we're going to be caught out with how light we've left ourselves. But luckily, January's round the corner. And if this club is really serious about at least showing they mean business, because there's one thing showing you mean business and it's another thing really meaning business. They've got to go for someone in January, and they've got to go for someone in January quite early. And as much as I criticize Havertz, Martinelli hasn't been good enough either. If you ask me now, the transfer window opens tomorrow, I replace both of them. But at this moment in time, January,
who realistically is a striker in January that you reckon you can
I'm
get?
glad you asked me that question, because year after year, the Arsenal fans that I back and forth with, battle with, they'll ask me the same thing. Realistically, who can you sign? Finally, I have 2 names that none of them can argue with, because there's a release clause for both of them. Gyökeres and Osimhen. Both of them have a release clause. We are crying out for a striker. Don't ask me, are they the one? Don't ask me, are they the profile? Don't ask me any of that nonsense. I just know they are strikers, and we need a striker, and they have bagged goals in other leagues. It's worth a risk, because all this search for the perfect striker, how it led to Sesko out in the summer, it just doesn't make sense to me. If that's who you want, cool. Worry about that next season. We've got 2 strikers there that you can buy in January. So that is, for me, Steve, Isak would be perfect. We can't get Isak in January. Doesn't mean we don't move in January. We have to move in January, because this season's massive. It's a massive season where we've got to win.
Is it definitely a striker that you need? I know you need a striker, but but obviously the stats flying around all over the place. And I know you personally ain't a big believer or don't care too much
I know you're
about
gonna say.
expected goals, yeah. But it is a prominent stat that people use and analyzers use for their teams. And you are 18th for expected goals from open play in the last 8 games. Only Southampton and Forest are below you. Now, that's fucking insane when I read that. You're second, by the way, in set piece expected goals. Apparently, Aston Villa, I thought Arsenal were clear, but Aston Villa are above you, but 18th in the last 8 games. So, and now how many of those games, I don't know, Odegaard's been back for, so that should help. But Odegaard's been back. From what I know, you haven't had much injury situation in the forward places, have you? Like most of them are all available in that. So,
but that's the curse. They're available and they're not good enough.
Or is it the striker that you need? What would you go for more?
It's being too predictable, Grizz. We didn't refresh the attack enough, and like I said, Odegaard and Saka are 2 key men in the 4-man attack. Work on one side.
Yeah.
So if teams crowd out that side, you stifle.
Robertson did well. Robertson did well. Good left back.
Stifle all of that XG stuff. Now, Grizz, I'm asking myself now on the 9th of December why stopgap signings in January 2023, stopgaps, Trossard, Jorginho, why they're starting games going into January 2025. Why Kai started the season. This is where I go back and forth with the fans, and I'm going to do it again. Stop getting carried away, people, because the club feed off getting carried away like we do. And don't get twisted. Last season, I said in 18 months, we're going to win a major. I believed. We was in a very good place, and no one could knock me for believing that at that time, because a lot of people put us favourites for this season. A lot of people thought it was coming as well through gritted teeth or, you know, all the worry.
I believed it. But
the fact of the matter is, as soon as that transfer window closed, people know that I thought we left ourselves like, and people know how I felt. We haven't done enough to win this league. Now, Man City have fallen over, and Man City are 2 points behind us, crisis and all that. That's even frustrating in itself. But it's not Man City. It's been Man City we've been chasing the last 2 years. It's not Man City I'm chasing. It's a Premier League title. So whoever's top, that's who I'm worried about. So all this talk about, oh, we're still above City, that's, you know, I don't give a shit about all of that. We're behind Chelsea and Liverpool. That's not good enough. We've left ourselves. Listen, I've heard people say Chelsea's squad is better than ours. Chelsea's squad is not better because you're eliminating how good our starting 11 is, in my opinion, in comparison to theirs. But their level of quality throughout the squad is more level than ours. 100%. If you could take their backups and put it into Arsenal, then cool. But I wouldn't take the whole squad. So there's a bit of a difference there. But this is 2 managers in their first seasons, Slot and Maresca. Arteta's failed to beat them both, and I don't think Pep or Klopp, you know, welcome new managers in this league and let them take points off them, or let them, you know, feel the way we're feeling now. So it's still very early on in the season, but it's not Man City or Pep in front of us. And that was no longer an excuse anyway. If Man City were 5, 6, 7, 9 points in front of us now, and Liverpool and Chelsea were behind us, I'd still be as vexed as I am now, because the numbers we've shown over the years, this was meant to lead to a 90+ point season. It was meant to, right? But we ain't done enough. It's not going to be 90 points. And the fact of the matter is, Premier League, it's not going to happen for us. I said this a few weeks ago. It's back to square one in terms of it's 6 points. Or what is it? It's 6 points, right?
Yeah.
6 points, but it's 9 points. I know you say you ain't got great records at Everton. They've beaten you once at Goodison Park in the last 13 years. 14 years. Yeah, so I'm 6 draws, but you've got a few wins there. I'm putting it as 3 points and be happily surprised rather than bitterly disappointed. So it's 9 points for me right now. And at the end of the day, we got Kai up front, we got Martinelli on the left. It's not looking good.
Like mentally, it's over. Do you feel like mentally it's over? Like just in where you're psychologically, when you're looking at assessing the squad, and you don't think you're gonna spend maybe in January. You know,
well, what do you mean mentally? Me,
as in, like, do you feel like it's a long way for Arsenal to kind of, because it's 9 points, but do you feel like you can capitalize? Because right now you're showing you can't capitalize. You know, especially
we had to make it. We had to have made it 4 points on the weekend. Like there's no excuse.
Yeah,
the gap could close to 7. It can close to 4. It can close to 2. We might even tie up on points one day. We might even go a point above. But we are also going to drop points. It's going to be a roller coaster. Whether we're on that roller coaster come February when title races really start, We'll find out. But right now, this ain't no race. 9 points and a trip to Anfield. Come on. Come on.
Do you know what I
man.
was mad about it as well? Even madder, sorry. Fulham had nothing for you. They had nothing for you, bro.
Shut up.
And
after that.
we played them a week ago, and they played way better against us than they did against you. And maybe that's just because we're more open defensively, but that performance was way more energetic. They pressed us harder, etc., etc. Against you, they were just happy to give you the ball and just defend. They were happy to defend. And there were gaps in their team. Don't get me wrong. So the defenders, I thought Berg was really good. I thought Bassi and Diop played quite well.
They did, but Bassi's trash.
But I know you're going to say he's trash. But the point I'm making is you didn't do enough in that 90 minutes for us to conclusively say, yeah, Arsenal thoroughly deserve to win it. On XG, you were better, right? But it was set pieces. Like, you're not giving this team enough problems in open play. And I know he's getting rinsed at the moment. He's playing a lot of football, Kai Havertz, but he's not good. Sorry. I'll never switch up.
Are we going back now? Are we doing this revision?
Proof he's not good.
Why did we go back and forth in the first place?
Yeah, like exactly.
No, but you know what it is. But this is the battle. This is the battle I find myself in, Grizz, as well, all the time, right? There's a battle with opposition fans as an Arsenal fan, and there's a battle with Arsenal fans as an Arsenal fan. Now, Havertz did improve last year, and we probably saw the best Havertz we've seen in the Premier League from January to May. That still, in my opinion, is a fact. I don't know, maybe Matisse saw a better period at Chelsea. I'm not too sure, but from what I've seen, it probably was the best 6 months. I think Matisse and TOBS knew that as well. So at points last season, obviously their argument that he's shit, or my argument that he's shit, dwindled a little. But then you've got the battle with the other Arsenal fans that see that form and absolutely wank all over the place and act like he's enough. He's good enough. And that leads the club to allow that to happen. That's why the question's going into the season, well, can he hit 20 goals? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me that the first season off the back of a proper title challenge, game week 38, we're asking, is Raheem Sterling good enough on deadline day? Can Kai Havertz score 20 goals up top? Nonsense.
The Raheem Sterling one is an absolute howler.
He starts for us, by the way, now.
Stop it.
No, he doesn't.
Listen,
Timo Werner and Raheem Sterling on the wings will win the league.
Yeah, Havertz is on five Premier League goals and nearly halfway through the season. He's on 5 Premier League goals. So he'll probably average, because obviously the argument last season from Arsenal fans was, he played in midfield most of the season. Yeah. So give him a season where he's up front now. We figured out his position. He's gonna bang goals, or he's gonna do this, that. But he's gonna average out on what he usually does, which is early double digits, and that's the player you've got. He's not a gunman. You can see in the way he strikes the ball. Like, how very rarely do you sit there and say, bro, Havertz has just whacked one.
If they get a gunman, I think, obviously we don't know, but I think Arteta's battle is going to be, if he buys an out-and-out gunman, how does it affect Saka and Odegaard? Like, Havertz
flourishes with a gunman, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got to feed him, isn't they? They're going to feed him, innit?
Saka will feed him 100%.
Not even just feed him. Think about the amount of attention Saka takes in a game. If you actually put another threat in that front three, take a bit of the attention away from Saka. Saka does what he does now, being the center of attention in that front three. Whereas you lock him off, don't worry about the other two. Imagine we brought in another one to worry about on the left, up front. Saka gets more space. He gets more numbers. He gets more.
But Havertz, I know he's not a good finisher, and he looks clunky. Yeah, is that a fair way to describe him?
He is clunky. It's not looks. He is.
Okay, he's clunky. He's not smooth. You're used to the thing is, right? We had this with fucking Darwin Núñez, where we've been blessed with some of the most highly technical, intelligent forward players the Premier League's ever seen in the last few years. Arsenal looking back and seeing Bergkamp, Henry, Perez, and these mans. Now they've got a clunky looking fella, works hard. He's a bit of a they're using him like a battering ram, but it's not Arsenal.
It's not about them not being Arsenal, Grizz, because they've not been Arsenal.
Van Persie was different. Dare I say it? I can't remember any other forwards of recent times, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean, but Arsenal as a whole aren't playing like Arsenal. I think Arsenal fans would happily take a battering ram that just did his job, and Didier Drogba at times was a battering ram. You know, he got goals. Do you know what I mean? Or he scored in big games.
He could
Like, I don't
spin
think,
off and outpace the defense.
yeah, I don't think Arsenal fans care about the style. They just want the output. He's not giving the output.
Let's just have it right. He's just not good enough. Like he's not a player who's going to be the difference maker for Arsenal when it comes to winning a league title. When Arsenal are playing great, he will get in on the goals. He will score a goal here or there. But when the team are going through adversity and need a player to rise,
shall we say he's not the starting striker?
No way.
I think he'd be a good backup. I think he'd be a good sub. I think Trossard's a great sub.
And I'm going to go back to my original point. You don't pay 65 million for a backup striker. And not even just a 65. You don't pay a backup striker 290k a week or whatever he's on, and that will impact you when you go in for the actual striker you need. When he says, "I want 350k," that's where Arsenal are going to have a final problem, because they're not going to want to pay a starting striker 350k, but they're going to have to, because Havertz is on too much money. So if Havertz is not the starting striker at Arsenal, he has failed. No one can spin the narrative now and say, "Oh, he can be backup." You don't spend that money on a backup. A backup striker gets 100k a week, 120k. They get 35 million, like Jackson, and they get pushed to backup, right? So that's the facts.
I agree with that.
That's why I never change my stance. People are always asking me in TOBS, "Oh, are you sorry now?" I'll be sorry when you win a Premier League title with him starting up front. If you don't do that, don't talk to me. Simple.
I'm with you.
Well said. Couldn't put any better.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm frustrated as hell, man. Talking about, I can't believe we signed Havertz.
Something with him as a result. Yeah, there's no point in you having Havertz and saying and trying to justify it by him playing better and you still not achieving anything.
That's the balance that man has to have, because you know, on one hand, bro, do you know how many times I was asked to apologize about Havertz? People don't understand. I can appreciate good form, but I need people to understand that we need better. We should have better. You don't have to run away with good form and, you know, act like, you know, just you wake up to rainbows and shit. Like, I just don't understand our fan base at times. I said it on the watch along. I said it in my reaction. The same people that abused me or smoked me for talking about Eddie and not rating him are now doing the same with Havertz. It's like, oh, fuck it, man. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of seeing this club not show the ambition, not show the required level, and on top of that, it hurts tenfold at the moment because Man City are not doing what Man City usually do, where you could look at it and say, "Oh, they are a juggernaut. That is Pep Guardiola, the greatest of all time." There ain't none of that this season, and it's not us capitalizing or even close to capitalizing or competing. Come on, man, joking. I'm actually vexed when I deep it, but it's all going to unfold slowly but surely. Right now, it's the whole don't look back period in terms of the rhetoric back to me from our fans. Soon enough, there'll come a point in this season where the only thing you can do is look back and ask why. So when that point comes, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk. Let me get the super chats in on Arsenal.
Pep is in big trouble if he doesn't win the league this season.
Yeah.
Fan base,
yeah.
From their fan base, yeah. I think a lot of people, a lot of fans.
No, yeah. He's definitely going to be in charge next season because of the new contract. We know this now, but he did questions and his job. There ain't none of this. There ain't none of this Teflon Don stuff anymore. There ain't none of that no more. I like him. You man know I like him as a manager. I think he will be a great manager one day and win major trophies, whether that's with Arsenal or not. I don't know. I don't know whether he's the man to make us great again or whether he's the man to give the platform to the next manager to make us great again. I'm not contemplating all of that now. I'm seeing how this unfolds. I'm working it out because I even look at the lack of a big name coming in. Our Alisson and Van Dijk was Rice and Havertz, and I think Havertz, shy guy, likes donkeys. Like, he's not really a character that's going to go win you this fucking league, is he? Is Arteta worried about these characters? You know, the ones that are going to come and maybe ruffle a bit, like, you know, to test your credentials a little bit, because he's a bit of a loose cannon, a bit of a wild card. He might demand minutes.
Diego Costa type.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But like, I'll watch it unfold and we'll talk, man. But I'm very frustrated because I know we ain't winning this league, and you lot know the league is more important to me than anything. Even Champions League, we haven't won it. But you man know how I feel. I want the league first.
I don't think you're out of it. I don't think you're out of it at all.
It's not done.
No, it's not done yet. But I know the frustrations. I'm not gonna try to like mess with your emotions, like and try to play with you. No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's not over yet though. But you do need to get your house in order. The margins of error, we know they're not like what they used to be, because City and Liverpool wouldn't ever drop points. So it's not that what you're dealing with right now. It looks like that's what you're dealing with from Liverpool point of view, like one defeat, one draw, and the rest all bad like wins. But we will have a drop off, and it could have been this weekend very easily, like a draw at Newcastle. We could have very easily. I don't think Everton would have beaten us, but we could have got a draw at Everton, and then suddenly, I know you'd ended up not winning, but suddenly, do you get what I'm saying? Things can change. It's all about momentum, injuries, anything can happen. Virgil picks up an injury, or Salah picks up an injury. You know what I mean? But right now, I agree. We're in a very, very strong position. Very strong.
Yeah. Let me get these super chats in. Jay Jackson says this weekend was a perfect summary on the season so far. Arsenal frustrating, Chelsea exciting, City confusing, United unsurprising, Tottenham Spursy, and Liverpool not playing anyone. That's actually a good super chat.
That's funny.
Big up. If Arsenal don't step up and get Isak, then I guarantee you show some chest. Literally, FC will snatch him up in the summer. Yeah, Isak will have 2 years left in the summer, so I'm sure quite a few will be onto him.
He's definitely leaving Newcastle. It's a matter of who. Yeah.
But
this is the thing, though. If you have to wait for Isak, because if he's
get Gyökeres in January and go get Isak as well in the summer. We need attackers, bro. We need attackers. We don't just need one attacker. We need two minimum. Minimum two.
You're trying to see Isak off the left, Gyökeres down the middle,
man.
off the right. Mate.
No, man, that's not realistic, though.
Super.
I don't think it's realistic, but yeah.
Brother, we spent 50 on one defender, 50 on another defender, 30 on another defender, 40 on another, 40 on another. We've bought 6 keepers, bro. Can we start buying some attackers? When is that going to be realistic that we bring in 2 free attackers, please?
Your next signing is a 6'2" defensive midfielder. to replace Jorginho. I'm telling you, that's your next signing.
You're gonna laugh, Matisse.
You know what? It's mad though to me. You know, like the amount of goalkeepers and defenders we've signed. Now I want a few attackers. People are like, whoa, calm down. What do you mean, calm down, bro? We bought like 6 centre backs and 6 goalkeepers in 2 years. Let us sign 3 attackers for fuck's sake. Let me get the next one in. Over the last 8 games. Okay, yeah. Omega. Grizz got this one in, but big up for the stat. Watching from Day Dot says, cleansing. This is my first ever super chat because I'm tight, but you all deserve everyone's dough. Come on, you gunners. Come on, G. Come on, G. The wallet came out. Say no more. We appreciate it. Said it. No, that one's on United. That one's on City. I'll get this one in now because I missed it earlier. Tax Evader says, Big Steve, we obviously should move on from Gundo, Bernardo, and Walker. Do you think it's time to move on from Stones too? He's one of my favourite ever players in absolute class, but he's so fragile.
Yeah, his injury record's getting worse now, I think. So I agree with him. Yeah, he's class, but we can't have another season like this where these players are getting injured. So I think if they freshen it up, get some young centre-back in, then it might be the end of Johnny Gravel.
It ain't so.
Yorella says Arsenal fans keep analysing Liverpool fixtures more than Liverpool fans. They should focus on hiring an open play coach and addressing our Taliban's football.
Yeah, what do you think about this glorifying the set piece coach every game?
No, he deserves all of the credit, man. What he's
City set piece coach, man. He was City set piece coach.
But can I just say something here again? And this,
okay, I know you.
Oh shit!
This, you know what you just said, because he deserves credit. Well done to him. I haven't seen us be this strong at set pieces, but I'll tell you what he doesn't deserve is his picture painted by the Emirates, and that's what I've seen today walking past it.
Preparation.
Picture, man.
And this is where I say I've got a battle with you, man. To be like, yo, what's going on, bro? Put Martin Keown there, or put Bergkamp celebrating with Paul Merson, or put Vieira with the Vaseline. Why are we putting...
Wait, are you serious?
Am I serious?
On the stadium?
Not on the stadium. You know the bridge when you're going to the stadium has players
emblem as well.
Yeah, has players along the side. They painted players in the bridge.
Yeah.
Josh Kroenke's there, by the way. That's another fucking issue itself.
That is wild.
I'm seeing Yova there now as well.
Oh,
It's
that
just
is
like,
true.
come on, man.
After
Like,
we've
just
done your
come
club.
on, man.
Who reckon
Why is
that?
Josh
do you reckon?
Kroenke an issue there?
I'm
After
not
we've
joking.
done
I'm
your
not
club.
joking. It's not Turkish.
Why is Kroenke an
I've
issue?
seen Arsenal fans that have
I
turned
reckon
this
it was
into a
Babs that painted it.
Now, Saeed, there's Arsenal
Why is it an
fans
issue?
on social media that have turned, and in my WhatsApps as well, by the way, you guys know who I'm talking about, and they're regular watchers of the show. They've turned Arsenal into a science. They think everything is so scientific, and they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it all sussed.
What was that one that you put in the group chat
They
today?
got shit sussed, man.
Oh,
Fuck's sake.
They
Have you
deserve
seen the
it.
one
What was
they're
that?
doing,
Deserve it
Grizz?
today. Deserve
Say
it.
again?
Grizz, have you seen the one they're doing? They're doing. So some of them are doing extra.
This is the one I put in the chat earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I don't think I saw it properly, but some of them are splitting the XG and they're doing it based off when there's 11v11 on the pitch. So they're splitting the XG. They're saying this is the XG for teams when it's 11v11. This is the XG for teams.
I'm telling you, it's a
Then they go
special
1-0
fan
down.
base overall. It's a special
People
fan
lost
base
it.
overall.
And you know what's fucked for me? I'm battling both, and then sometimes you lot come with what they're saying to me.
Yeah, I know,
ask
and
me
it
for
winds you
answers,
up.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, it winds you up. I know what you mean. I know
And
what
the
you
big
mean.
one.
I haven't
is
seen the field tilt recently as well. I
Field
need Babs
tilt,
to
yeah.
bring that back. What's the
I ain't
field
heard
tilt?
that in time, you know.
I
Field
need to
tilt
see
is
what the field tilt is saying.
Matisse, I'm going to send you some that have turned Arsenal Football Club into a scientific subject. It's a whole fucking science. How they talk about Arsenal.
But it's a
Bro,
thread
if
as well.
they don't
It's
win
a
this
thread.
league, I swear to God, I'm crashing it on every single Arsenal fan's heads with all their graphs. I'm crashing it.
Rishab says, feel like Arsenal will go down sad. The regression is the only thing keeping TOBS alive. Oh, you just heard. Michael says, this is just a reminder that Liverpool was 7 ahead of us last season. I'll remind you of this super chat when we catch them, Turks. Please do, Michael, because if you remind me of this super chat, it means we've caught them. Please. I hope you are right, and I hope you remind me.
You
Please.
catch them, though. I don't know why you're panicking. You can catch them.
Brother, 9 points in Anfield is a 4-game swing. It's just not easier to say you can catch them like that. They got world-class players, bro. They got
You're the
players that have.
Super Arsenal. You've undefeated at Anfield the last 2 seasons now.
Now you're happy, smiling.
You want to get you happy that you can crash it on you.
How does he just
It's
turn
crazy
like
how
this?
bro.
Toby,
It's
you
crazy
need
how he.
to-
It's crazy how like it doesn't. Arsenal's
We all need a
demise-
release, man. We all need a release. And
Oh,
Toby's
there.
release right now. It can't
Toby,
be his
you need
club.
to go. You need to go to the Emirates tonight and spray a pair of tits on that set piece pole. Yeah, in tribute to Matisse.
Thank
Do
you.
it, man.
Thank you.
Nah, someone needs to paint Matisse by the Chelsea Stadium. That's what I need
Yeah,
to
someone
see,
needs to
man.
put Matisse with his tits out.
All right, if that someone can do that scene anywhere near Chelsea's ground.
Hey, please take a picture, send it. We'll make it go viral. I'm telling you right now. We'll
100%.
Hybrid just says we need signings, but as fans, we always look externally. There are internal solutions who are not being platformed. Not seen Rice, Marino, Odegaard start once. Well, Marino's another thing. Partey right back, Jorginho comes in, not the summer signing. Why? What's going on? What the hell? So many questions, so few answers. And I disagree with the internal solutions thing, because when your internal solutions are Marino, who we haven't seen much of, I guess Sterling is another internal solution. Fucking Jorginho's another. These internal solutions are not.
Sterling not getting on. He didn't come on the weekend? Did he? What's going on with Sterling? He's not getting a look in. Nothing.
Did he come on?
Oh.
I don't think I saw him. I don't think I saw him.
We didn't see it.
Say
Man.
no
What do you
word.
think?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I was worried initially that we were paying too much of his wages because I felt like he was getting a bit, done over.
Imagine I said we're going to win a major in 18 months and they gave me Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
And people think that people think our owners are sick. Fuck
What's wrong with your owners? They gave you calamari. They gave you
He wants that, bro. The guy's been injured most of the season as well. He bought another defender just to be injured. Like, what's going on? Tomiyasu, Ghost.
Down, David Raya on a perm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're spending P. Yeah.
So are you, bro. You don't forget you spent.
Like
do you want me to bring that? Do you want me to
process.
bring that
Like
graph
you
up?
said
Do
to me,
you want me to
bring
bring
the
that
graph,
graph
bring
up?
the graph. Like you said to me,
Do
trust the
you remember
process.
the graph I'm talking about?
I don't remember the graph. Trust the
Tottenham have
process.
spent more than Arsenal since the Premier League started. Do you remember that?
Exactly.
So
there's no
remember
context.
everything you're saying now to Arsenal about spending. When we turn it to you and Levy, you just like, oh, I can't believe he's doing this. It's so
I'm
disingenuous. Oh my god.
Lucky I've gone on mute.
You're not on mute, but I wish you was.
Am I not on mute? Okay, I'm back now. No, I'm only just saying what you say when I talk about Levy. I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine.
No, but I give a balanced conversation. Our
No, you
owners
don't.
bought a club that was winning stuff at the top level with the greatest Premier League player of all time in the Champions League final. That's what our owners bought. I don't know what Daniel Levy bought, but maybe you
Well,
can
I
open
can
your
tell you
eye,
this.
my eyes to this.
Your owners gave Arteta 105 million on Rice last season. They gave him 65 million on Kai Havertz. They've given him a gazillion million pounds on all the defenders you bought. In my eyes, your owners are backing him. So
A gazillion what?
a gazillion billion pounds.
Go grab another Five Alive from the fridge, man. 'Cause I need you out of here, man.
Trust the process.
Or Umbongo.
Mbongo.
Mbongo.
That's a
Mbongo.
classic juice, you know. People don't know about Mbongo, yeah.
I've never had
Mbongo's
it. I've never
You
had
never had
Mbongo.
it?
It's legendary shit. And Bongo juice is the best. And the
That
advert
in the 90s was cold.
Sick.
Man. That advert in the 90s was cold. SAEED, don't go anywhere. With a few super chats left and we move. Suj says the issue is Arteta will persist with Havertz no matter what. His ego won't allow the highest paid player in the squad to sit on the bench. Throw in Jesus, and that's over 500k a week in wages. Crazy. 500. Rishab says, call Babs and Robbie on the show to explain their delusional, naive takes. Turkish doesn't deserve the smoke. Real as it gets. Love Rishab. Nivek or Kevin. Is this on Arsenal? There we are. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is a team with the ability to deliver, but it lacks that killer mentality, and that's a direct reflection of the club's leadership. We look at winning things as a possibility if things fall just about right for us and not as a priority for the so-called third biggest club in England, regardless of circumstances. I'm with you. I know exactly what you're saying, and 100%. For the third biggest club, that's won the third most trophies. We don't half fuck about when it's time to really show that we are one of the biggest clubs. Hence why so many fans chat shit about it, and you know our European legacy is non-existent. So yeah, I'm with you. Lockdown frontline better than this. Arse frontline, Oba, Saka and Laka. And Bavarian M says Turkish's sponsorship intro on his channel for VPN Comedy Gold. Quote, I ain't getting into the nitty gritty. I know when I said that, I was thinking that's mad for a promo. Still, I ain't getting into the nitty gritty. But look, they're back. Proton are back here as well, people. So you must be clicking the link. You must be kicking the link. So make sure you still show some love to Proton, people. We're coming up to 2 hours. We're going to wrap it up with Man United. You know, Steve said it. I mean, how many times can you just rip them? It's not.
It's the Ineos era, though, isn't it? It's the Ineos era, isn't it? You know, what we got all told about and that, what was happening. Everyone's scared now. There's a proper man coming in. So Jim, he laid off all the catering staff. He laid off all the people in the souvenir shop. He stopped, you know, buying the nice chicken. He's in the whoopsie aisle for the chicken. You know, he didn't fix the roof. All this nonsense, you know. He's great. He's saving money. We're getting 100,000 stadium. Yeah, everyone's scared. No one's scared, bro. Dan Ashworth, oh yeah, we've got this guy in now, a proper guy. He's lasted 5 months and thought, wow, this place is fucking shite. I'm getting off, mate. And he's got
a proper football instructor now.
Listen to this, though. And Squirtsy scored a couple of goals the other day. What you saying now, bro, was the what you saying now, bro? So all of 20-odd games before that, don't matter about that, but he gets 2 against Everton. What you saying now, bro? So, and then rim ball. Don't forget the rim ball that was coming out. Oh, yeah. Just because Sporting Lisbon beat this Manchester City team, that is whack, by the way, you thought that you'd beat this Manchester City team because the manager was leaving. And then, you know, what's happening? Nottingham Forest just come to town, bop you off the pitch. Arsenal bop you off the pitch. And, you know, Omar Berardi, where's he? Not seen him for a while. You know what I mean? We took your CEO. No, you didn't. You took the fucking 8th in command. You used to get the coffees. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Omar Biryani, yeah, he fucked off. And yeah, he's fucked, man. He's fucked. But go on, carry on. Tell us, spin it again. Tell us what's going to happen. Yeah. You know what you're going to do. Tell us.
I'm humble. Proper football instructor. The amount of times I heard him say over there in that corner, proper footballing structure. We've hired this man, we've hired that man, we've hired this man, hired that man. We've got a sporting director, we've got a director of football, we've got a director of this, director
but
of
Matisse,
that. It's crazy how, man, you just couldn't wait. Couldn't
It was
wait. I
windy.
told you, wait.
It was windy though, bro. It was windy, bro. Haven't you heard, man? Come on, man. Be
That
fair,
is
man.
emergency mandem talk. Emergency mandem when Ashworth got off.
I told you lot. I told you lot. Remember
Emergency
we said
what?
when's the emergency
Wasn't
show? And he
emergency
said no more
Mate,
emergency
Let's do
stream.
that title.
There was an emergency
It was
stream
a
last
debate
night.
show. It was a debate show, bro. We
It
literally.
was an
It
emergency
was an
stream.
emergency.
It was not an emergency, man. If he doesn't say emergency, then it's not an emergency.
And talk to me about.
You might keep going. Keep going. Yeah, go on.
Heated
Talk to me about
clash.
Pat Butcher, because I heard he was stinky. He was.
Sorry, say that again.
Talk to me about Pat Butcher.
Yeah, listen,
Oh,
I
did
can't
you
lie
see
to you,
Pat? He
man.
was headbutting people's backs.
He's so
He's
short.
that small. He's that small. He's headbutting people's backs.
Oh.
I can't defend my Butcher, man. It's hurting me seeing him.
Yeah,
Seeing him like this, man. He's not in the greatest of form, guys, man. My Butcher's not good, man. But nah, man, I can't lie, man. We're 13th in it, guys, man, and we're 13th for a reason. It's not looking good right now, and our fixtures are crazy. But if I look at the game,
Don't talk about your fixtures. You tough, right?
Sorry.
I said, don't talk about your fixtures. You tough, right? You're not Butlers. You're Man United. You're
Listen,
Brooklyn.
yeah, we're Man United, man. We you know what I mean? We don't blame anyone else. We're not blaming injuries. We're not going to blame anything else.
I'll tell you the
Yeah,
fixtures.
but you're literally about to blame squad quality.
That one I could, yeah, of course, because
But you just said you don't blame anything else. You're
The
literally
man
about to.
invested 2 million on absolute shite, and obviously,
Talk about
there's a lot of players that-
Onana. What's your name? Onana. What's your name?
I
Talk
hear
about
shit. I'm here to say Anana is shit.
No, don't do that. That's very disingenuous. This season's been, he's having a good season. He's
Hold
been a
on, no.
perfect-
I'm turning my camera on. It's Broski.
Are you
In the
mad?
18 months he's had. Do you know how many mistakes he's made? Do you remember
Yeah,
what
I agree.
Ramsdale?
Last season
Do
was
you
a
remember
bad
what
season.
Ramsdale used to get for like 3 mistakes?
Oh, here we
He's
go, man.
Ramsdale.
Here we
He's
go, man.
Ramsdale. He
It's-
makes a
it's-
lot of
Bro,
mistakes.
Onana is worse.
had a solid
Onana's first
season.
18
No, Turkish,
months
Turkish,
was
Turkish.
crazy.
Turkish, do you know what it is? Onana is the ultimate highlights. When you watch Match of the Day, you think, bro, Onana, what a save. He will make a mad save a game.
This is
But the
crazy.
overall jeopardy with that brother in goal is fucking insane.
It was a bad
You're
mistake.
shitting
Oh,
yourself.
I'm looking
You're
what happened
shitting
before that, though.
yourself.
You got to remember what happened before that. Bruno Fernandes is a bozo.
He's like Ramsdale.
Losing the
I used
ball,
to,
eh?
remember I used to cuss
Yeah.
Ramsdale. I said he's never going to win you the league when you got Ramsdale in goal.
But
We're not
Ramsdale
talking
was
about
better.
league
But
now,
Ramsdale
Grizz.
was
What are you
better.
thinking about league for, man?
Ramsdale was better.
13th, bro. I'm
When,
talking about league, man.
when Onana went to United, I think I done a show on your channel and I said, Onana, we're going to
Yeah,
have
no, you
so
did.
much
You did, to be fair.
I said
But
he's an
But
atrocious.
this season, nah, I'm not having this.
People are like,
this-
nah, man, you don't know what you're talking about. He's physical. He's amazing with the ball at his feet.
Nah,
He's so flexible.
I don't
His
agree with that one.
ability. He's shit.
Listen.
And by the
It's
way,
very-
I know you're
it's
about to
very-
dunk
for
on
me,
squad
it's
quality,
very
but
harsh.
But was it Tobes? Shit is shit or something?
Shit.
Nah,
listen,
man.
the
you
starting
man,
11,
man.
the
Onana's
starting
been alright
11 that
this
you
season,
put
man.
out against Nottingham Forest, a lot of your fan base like Onana, Champions League finalist goalkeeper, Lenny Yoro, Real Madrid, Ala Madrid, De Ligt, right? Bargain, Martinez, The Butcher, Diallo, Dallo, right? Mazarari coming off the bench, Kobe Mino in midfield, Agate. Agate played. I saw the whole timeline going crazy when Agate signed. Oh my God, we signed Agate.
Talk about the front
right?
three, man.
And then,
That's
here's your
where our
front three.
problems
But
are.
let's, you know, Alejandro Garnacho.
No, we're not doing this. I said the bench player best.
And then Hoyland and Fernandes. It's not like the whole team is, you know, not got the seal of approval. It's a couple of
Bro,
players. in that
people were
starting 11.
saying,
Nah, it's a couple
what
of big
people are
players,
saying,
man. Up
this
front
is
we're
the
shocking, man.
people were saying this back three is the stuff dreams are made of. Lissandro Martinez, De Ligt, and Euro.
Yeah, and it's
people
5
saying,
games. Relax. It's
We
5
dreamt
games.
about
Let
these
things
days.
materialize. It's 5 games in, guys.
They
Let's
dreamt
relax.
about
You
those
tell us
days.
on to
They
relax.
dreamt about
Yeah,
them.
there's 5 games in.
And Michael
I'm saying?
Wood, what's his
I
name?
said we're
Michael
gonna
Wood.
suffer.
Have I got his name right?
United
today?
fans, we have to suffer.
Chris Wood.
Here with the suffering. You know what I mean? Hold it in. You know what I mean?
Nah, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Hoyland
And
is
I'm
doing
one of
the
them where
Undertaker. Hoyland
Say
is
that
doing
again?
the Undertaker and losing games. That's crazy. How can you do the Undertaker and
cold
lose
celebration
games?
though, can't lie.
No, it's very
Cold
good.
celebration though.
Very
Cold
good
celebration
celebration.
though. But listen, I think for me, when you look at and analyze the game, the first one there, Lissandro should not be marking, you know what I mean, a big guy. And what's he called? Milinkovic, I think he's called.
Yes,
I don't know if I'm-
Serbian, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely got bullied there. Then
Bomb.
set piece coach comes out. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's doing. He's watching above. That one there, maybe it's on the players to sort out who should be marking who. The second one, I'm sorry, man. Bruno Fernandes, you know what I mean? He treats the ball like a grenade. He tries to do a little 1-2 with Lady Euro, loses it. Obviously, they score from that. Onana should do better. But the third one, man, it's a comical errors, man. Dalot, weak. He doesn't really go for the 50-50. Lisandro Martinez, what are you doing?
Wait. You lost past that.
Sorry?
Dalot. Weak.
Dalot. Yeah, weak.
How many times have you come on this platform and said that this season?
I've said that a few times. What are you talking about?
Okay, so Dalot is having a shit season, right?
I can categorically say Dalot is having a shit season this season.
Okay, so now in his entire time at Man United,
but the thing is, though, he is playing left wing back.
His entire time at Man United, how many good seasons has Dalot had?
Last season, he had an amazing season. Let's start from that one.
Outside of last
one of my
season,
best seasons last season.
Last season wasn't amazing.
I'd say
last season was good. Let's not call it amazing.
Amazing, you know,
Other
amazing.
fullbacks like Trent on this panel.
Amazing
Let's not say
season.
amazing. Let's not say
He
amazing.
was one of our best players last season.
He was your best player because
that's one good season in about 5 years.
I'd say for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what it is for me? Yeah? When I talk about Dalot, yeah, I'm actually one of the few that used to criticize Dalot. But when you came online and started being disingenuous, that's when I was like, you know what, man, I need to really press.
Average.
You know
what do you mean I'm disingenuous?
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a case of I'm kind of back Dalot in a sense, but he has been poor this season. He's playing, to be fair to him, in this position that doesn't suit him a lot. You get me, and hence why he's looking actually worse for it.
Okay.
But
it doesn't suit him a lot, but when Dragonson's playing that left centre back, he doesn't stop you from criticizing him, does it?
Do you rate Dragonson? Really? Are you ready to talk about
Dragonson?
Dragonson?
Really? I'm getting you to analyze players the way I'm getting you to analyze players the way you analyze others.
Listen, for me anyway. Listen, Dalot's been poor. I'm not gonna hide away from that. I'm gonna say it here. I'm gonna criticize him here.
What's his song? Dalot.
I don't really have a song. He doesn't really have a song, mate. Don't know what you're talking about there. But anyway, going back to the Lisandro bit, I think for me, that one there, he has to manage the situation there. He doesn't. And it's poor, man. And listen, Nottingham Forest deserve to win that game, man. You know what I mean? We're poor. And this is going to take time, man. Amarin has to sort out a lot of things in that team. He has to know his first 11. You know what I mean? That's the biggest one for me. I just look at the front three for me. That 2 number 10s, man. He has to get the right balance in there. Garnacho is not a starter. He's dropped Rashford. Bruno Fernandes is not really doing much in that team as well. He hooked him off, even though he scored a goal. Hoyland, for as much as he scored the goal, we're missing. Rashford came on.
I'm not
absolutely no. Hold on a minute. 1 second.
Can I ask you a question?
Rashford came on, poor, no impact. Mason Mount came on, poor, no impact. So there's a lot of things that you can't. I mean, you can't take water into wine, man, and that's the reality that he's facing right now. Amarin, you know. So we'll see.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, say it.
Kobe Manu, I heard that he had a disaster class.
You know what it is here? A lot of people are talking about Kobe. He didn't really have a bad game. I don't know where this is coming from. He's just come back from injury. You know what I mean? And he's just finding his feet in the team. I don't get this.
Are you comfortable with him and Bruno as your double pivot?
SAEED, I told you. I said to you.
Said Bruno has to play there.
But SAEED, I said to you. I think a year ago now or 2 years ago now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see how I've talked about Arsenal fans, yeah? You lot have the same problem, and you you are part of that you see
what did I say?
You see when I talk about the Arsenal fans that will paint someone on the wall that doesn't, you're part of that in the Man United fans, because listen, and this is what I'm gonna tell you. Euro doesn't play a minute. You're mentioning him with Saliba. Kobe Manu just burst on the scene. You're mentioning him with like Declan Rice or Kurt or whoever it is. You build them up so when content creators or other fans see people saying this, or Rio Ferdinand saying Saliba's the best, the only one that can match him is Euro. It's like we're ready to knock that down as soon as we see Euro has no blocks, no tackles, no nothing in a game. That's not fair on Euro, but the fans do it to themselves. So there needs to be a case of, stay humbly. That just seems to be the rhetoric of the season, right?
One of my own, isn't it? It's you know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, but if you hype them up, man are gonna drag them down. And when they're young,
I don't. For me, listen, I get it, yeah, but I don't expect what people are expecting from a guy who's come back from injury. Is getting back into the system. Like, I don't think he's had a bad game. I don't know. Maybe people are just seeing things I don't know, but I don't think Kobe Manu had a bad game against Nottingham Forest. He played well for me in that game. But listen, it is what it is. And we are going to get better. I think we're going to have to. It's a period of suffering, and we need to suffer because the manager said we could do the easy route, and then we go back into everyone thinking that we've hit a false dawn. Or we could go down this route, suffer, and get back to better. It's a process, guys. I hate the word process, but it is going to be a process. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of them where it's going to be a lot of hard work. And Amarin has realized that. You know what I mean, bro? He knows what's going on. He's talking about mad running, like mad dogs running. He's specifically talking about certain players not running in this system, where in this system, what you have to do, you have to work hard. You have to press from the front. So, listen, man.
Sunday's going to be interesting, man. Is it Sunday? I know we're going to do the build up on Thursday, but
please let me just focus on Victoria Pills and let me get that one underway. Hey, Victoria. Yeah. Huh? You know what I mean?
Holston Pills.
Victoria Pills. Victoria Pills. Champions.
They play Victoria Station on Thursday. It's mad.
No, honestly, like I think for me, it might be a weekly cooking for United. I'm ready for it. It is what it is. The fact that Skull has not put me in the title, actually, he has actually. United lose, but not even in the thing. It just shows, man. Right now, we are maybe irrelevant. You know what I mean? So
this is how I felt when we were 12.
Whoa, irrelevant. Hated the dude. Never ignored.
When we were 12, it's just it gets to a point where these men don't even want to hear about it anymore. Just leave you to the back. You lost to Forest at home. No one even cares. No one's got nothing to say.
You can. You put an Instagram post, mate. I see the Instagram post.
I'm doing it for everyone. I'm doing it for everyone. I'm doing it for everyone. You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, every single week, it's like just result after result.
Well, I hear you, man.
And it's just
no, it's not that, Matisse. It's you know that they have the little, they do a little something, yeah, and then everything, all the comparisons and everything comes out. They don't even wait. Like, show a little bit of consistency before you test test the waters. They just fucking go dive straight in. We're back.
Yeah, SAEED needs to go back to lab mode. Remember the lab mode?
Next weekend, we'll see. Come on.
First game of the season, I came in here and told you that fucking Xerxes was dog shit. First game of the season, yeah? And he's dog shit. Simple as that. So not halfway through the season, let him bed in. I told you first game of the season, and he scored. And I told you what he was like, dog shit. And you was all gassing him up and all that Highland.
Do you know what it is, Steve?
He wants to back him. He wants to back him.
There's a new Haaland in town.
Yeah, but Steve, he's new, so I don't want to go too harsh on him. Fuck him. Shall I tell you, if I was a United fan, right? If I was a United fan, God forbid, Rashford right now would be making me Toby levels of rage. No, I'd be Toby levels of rage right now. He's embarrassing in every shape, way, or form, from attitude, his work rate, effort, everything about him is stinky right now. And he's one of your senior players, even though he's still young.
Yeah. You know,
he's one of your own.
No, 100%. Listen, the way they got rid of Dan Ashworth, yeah, if they were to make a statement, yeah, this summer and get rid of like some 2 or 3 high profile names, yeah.
Yes.
That's when I would say, you know what, Ineos, 100%. They deserve the hype, yeah. If they don't, this is where for me you got to be ruthless. Get rid of big name players. And I mean, just terminate the contracts, you know, and just like, bro, take a loss. And it sounds 100%. Crazy.
Not gonna happen.
It's serious. I know, Matisse is not, but if they actually say, you know what, or at least let them know you need to go. Yeah, you're not part of the team. You need to go and find another club. If they do that, that's when we can.
Do you know what you're gonna have to do? Do you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to make a and a B team. And you're gonna have to push them to the wayside, and you're gonna have to start banning people and putting them to the side and saying you're not in the team. Because if you don't do that, they're just gonna say, "Oh, you're not serious," because you're not gonna force me to leave this club until you embarrass them and you say, "No, you're training away from the main group. You're gonna go and sit to the side." You're gonna have to do that, and you're gonna have to do a full rebuild because that's what you guys are talking about, right?
We need that. So
you're gonna have to spend a lot of money that a lot of you have mocked spending, but it's fine. Because your time is coming. You're going to have to flip that whole team. You're going to have to spend a lot of money. And you're going to have a lot more mockery moments coming your way. And I hope people laugh the same way. I hope people laugh the same way at Man United. They laughed at us because we were making staff sackings. The fucking dinner ladies ain't getting Christmas. The dinner ladies ain't even getting a Christmas party at Man United now this year. It's mad. It's wild. And I'm not hearing enough about it. I'm not hearing enough about it.
It's true though. You have to go through that period. You remember when we sacked Gunnosaurus?
No way did Gunnosaurus get sacked.
Hey?
Huh?
Gunnosaurus got sacked.
Well, this was during COVID, that when the cuts were coming,
Yeah,
the
the
Kroenkes were messing about, bro. There was chopping, every man was getting. I don't know if he's back, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he is, but do you remember Ozil came out and said,
"What does Gunnosaurus do, man? If there's COVID, what's he doing?" Just
Ozil came out, you know, Ozil and the club were battling. So when they did that to Gunnosaurus, Ozil came out and said, "I'll pay his wages." You know them PR moves. I'll pay his wages. But yeah, Matisse is right. Still say you're gonna go through a lot of shit first. So yeah, I'd protect your menus and euros as much as possible right now. Don't this lambs to the slaughter at this moment in time. But if you wanna, you know, we can slaughter. We don't mind. It's the big six.
You never know, but we can dip in and out. You know what I'm saying?
18. You try that. 18
your players, brother, please.
You know what I mean?
It's like you don't care. Protect your fucking young players.
We're dipping it out. We're dipping it out, man.
I got 18 super chats. That's all I'm going to get in, people, and we're going to wrap it up. Mahar says, as United fans, we hype mid players. If we win our next game, please, Kalma, Rashi, and Garnacho infuriate me. If we're serious, we need a full rebuild. Seems that the panel agree. Omega says, SAEED, United have 5-6 top 6 worthy players like Rashford on 350k a week, but plays like a 50k player. Mountain has less goals and assists than Flecken.
What the fuck?
That is crazy. James McGuinness says, SAEED, do this one for me because he wants to hear you say the quote. I need SAEED to say this famous quote.
We've got Ugarte. Love you. Big up the panel. What?
You didn't say it.
You know, is man.
You didn't say it with the right.
I didn't say this. I didn't say this.
SAEED says so much.
No, generally, I didn't say this. I would let you know if I said this.
I saw a video of you with shades on and your Man United flag when you signed Ugarte.
Nah, I don't remember that one as well.
I remember.
Bro, when you making that show, Turkish man, that VAR show, man.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. That's the next step.
You know what I mean? Get that show ready, man. Then we can do it, bro.
No, forget that. When is the mid-6 coming back? Because
relax.
You all had your fun and games.
Mid-6.
Bro, let me see.
Listen, relax.
Let me see it.
Steve, you might be in that one. You're still.
Yeah, we got interest.
We'll never be as bad as you, mate. We'll never be as bad as you. Let me tell you that. We'll never be as bad as you. Never be as bad as you.
Yeah, run it
never
back.
Be as bad as you.
I told you,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Looking at your downfall.
I'm on that show this season. We're gonna have new additions. New additions.
Toby, Steve, SAEED.
Tobes and SAEED, definitely. Tobes and SAEED. Why are you shaking your Tobes? You're bottom off. You are in it, bro.
Me and
you
Toby
and Lawless.
About how shit we are.
Yeah, you
and Lawless.
Why am I here?
I'm good, brother. No mid-6 for me.
We're gonna bring Steph back. Aston Villa fan. Big up Steph, man. Hope he's good.
Man,
we haven't talked in a little while.
Yeah, man. And Matty and that.
Red Devil said, this is all on the players. 1, no work rate. 2, desire. 3, lack of effort. No movement. Only players play start in top other 5. Oh, okay. Mazraoui and Ahmad. Disgrace. I assume that word, had it been complete, says. Zephyr says, they're going after another Newcastle executive. We got our staff and players from Brighton. Think you will eventually land Isak, Botman, and them, man, SAEED.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Talking about Gyökeres, isn't it? Lewis says, big up the big 6. United fan here. Need Chelsea to do us a favour to sort them scousers out in the league. Plus loving City's downfall. Also, fuck Bruno and Rash. Not mincing his words. Suge says, what will happen and piss me off? We will sign a centre-back who played as a striker in the under-9s. That's the Arsenal way. Or Kim Kallstrom, a guy with a broken back when you need a striker. Only Arsenal. Vibav says, amazing for Matisse to say you can't pay 65 M for a backup. They have a 90 M winger as backup to their backup.
It costs 90 mil, but keep lying about the figures.
SAEED, are you taking any bed sheets if you go on Sunday? And Daniel says, said it before, we are going to be inconsistent until the end of the season. Amorim still finding his feet. Patience, time needed. Focus on the cups. Say no more. Gusu says, Grizz, Slot takes the same squad Klopp had, and in one season they're top. Klopp only managed a COVID Premier League in 7. Was he holding them back all along?
Yeah.
I like the answers. At this time That's all a question for Grizz. Yeah. Suj says, all jokes aside, in honor of the result, can we bring back the mid-six and TOBS and SAEED host? Oh, wait, United won't even make it. Never mind. But listen, on the subject, we will talk, people. We will talk. All jokes aside, again, road to 100K. Slap up the likes and subscribe. If you haven't or don't, you can... yeah. If you haven't or don't, yeah. Keep up the good work, brothers. Huh?
I was reading the super chat. That's disgusting.
You don't need to read it with such intent, man. Get out of here, Toby, man.
He's reading it like a novel. Just trust Ash's TOBS. I'll come up on the call show. I do YouTube for a living, mate. Plus, cooking you ain't that hard. Your club and you especially get cooked daily. Looking forward to that one.
I did my research. I did my research on.
Oh, you saw? Okay, look, TOBS.
Yeah. Get him on. Next time when we do the call in, you better be there. Yeah.
Jay Chook says, Turkish, what will you say do if Arsenal don't bring in 2 top attackers by... I don't know what you want me to say. Do you want me to burn down the whole North London or something? I don't, like. There's a limit to the answer to this question. Well, what can I do?
Spray tits on walls. That's all we can do.
You haven't done everything, Turkish. Trust me.
I'll say no more. I'll take it from a man who knows. Let me get this. Mark says, on behalf of all the Geordies, thank you, Sir Jim, for the easiest 5 M's. And Jimmy G says, what's good, Big Six family? First off, thank you for all the hard work you all do to entertain us. My question is, who is everyone looking to buy next month, and in what position do you need an upgrade? You know me, striker.
I'm trimming the fat.
Midfield for me as well. Same. Bring me a midfielder to allow Gravenberch to have rest. I'm good.
Okay, midfielder. Yeah. Trimming for Matisse. DM for City. I'd say trimming for United. TOBS.
Everything. Right winger, midfielder.
You say anything?
I said everything.
I said everything. Steve. Cool. 3 left. Anurag says Lopetegui only 1 point behind Amorim. United plays City next. Interesting. Well, Amorim's only been there a few games and to the point behind. Amaritania. Where would all you guys rank top 3 players this season? Long going all the way around, but I'd say Gravenberch, Salah, Cole Palmer. Yeah. Anyone disagree or add anyone in there?
No, totally agree.
I'd say Caicedo over Palmer. Caicedo, I'd have.
Okay, you know better about outside looking in.
I'd say Gravenberch, Salah, and Konate. All 3. Liverpool.
Bullshit. Where's Caicedo, bro?
I'm just saying my opinion. Don't say bullshit. Bullshit's not a player. Name your players. I name my 3 players.
Bro, come on. Where's Caicedo, man?
Caicedo overtaken Gravenberch a little bit? No.
I'm happy to make a case. Happy to make a case.
Jazzy just said, my partner asked to be humiliated, so I bought her a Spurs kit and called her Toby. We even emptied all the silverware out of the cabinet.
He hates you and
BDSM Spurs.
No, he likes him. They're good mates. I think they.
He knows TOBS. I'm telling you, that guy knows. Whoever that is,
honestly,
he knows.
I think he does know TOBS, and he's just hiding behind a name.
Yeah.
Probably one of his mates.
People, that's all the super chats. So thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the engagement in the live chat. Thank you for everyone that's hit that like button. Last but not least, we've got the prediction table update. Here it is.
Shit.
That's close, man.
I've fallen off.
What?
That's
better. Man.
How?
Chris, you told me you did well.
How the fuck did I do? No,
I had a good week. I had to get back in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Matisse got a correct score. That's why we jumped up ahead of you, TOBS and GRIZZ.
Yeah, Matisse killed it this week. You got 2 top scores, 2 correct scores.
GRIZZ, you got no points this week. I don't know if that's a record. You actually got 0.
He said he did well this week.
He got 0.
If Carlsberg done weekends.
You know, I was so
wow.
You know, I was so surprised. Yeah, I was so surprised. I counted it 3 times, and all 3 times it was 0, bro. And I was thinking, am I getting this right? I even went back and watched the show to get the predictions again, and
I'm
0.
focusing on the real table, man. The Premier League table this year.
Say no more. Say no more.
Another forfeit, mad.
Yeah. There we go, people. Prediction table done, and we will be back Thursday 10 p.m. because of some games going on Thursday. So 10 p.m. we will be back here. So make sure you're here. Like I said, love for all the love on the mob, on the watch-alongs, the match highlights, the content. We've got a few pieces coming out in the next few weeks, heading into the Christmas and New Year period. And we've also got big plans for next year. So show some love to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. Show Proton some love. And yeah, we'll be back on Thursday, people. Love for the love as always. We're out. Peace.